talking. I hate it when people. You see, part of the reason I don't do it is because I hate it when people talk over mixes. I just want to listen to the music. I don't want to listen to you yabbering.
Well, I hate when people interrupt other people just in general. That's just so annoying.
Yeah, well, get over it. By the way, I've sent you.
I do that all the time. I was making fun of myself.
I know. I'll send you a speak pipe, Duke. Did you get it? Just in case you haven't looked.
I don't look at my
I've only
email
just done
anymore.
it, to be fair, so it's only very, very recently.
Nobody uses email, man.
was
It's all
obviously
Gadsorb.
quicker after that first frame.
Gadsorb? Oh, you know. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Is that something new? Is it the new thing? Can I just say, by the way, I haven't played the weekly game. I forgot all about it, and it's been a really short week. It's been a weird week. It's been a weird because we only did it on Tuesday.
Okay,
and we're doing it again.
let's imagine. Let's close our eyes. You're Chinny.
Yeah.
No, you're Stu. And let's imagine Chinny just said that. What would you say to Chinny? What would you say to Chinny? No. What would you say to Chinny?
I'd like, for God's sake, oh.
What's he like? For fuck's sake.
What you like?
It's not difficult. It's really a complicated process to play a game.
But to be fair, I have apologized instantly. Chinny would have forgotten that everything about it. He wouldn't even have apologized. That'd have been it.
Well, I have a feeling Chinny didn't play it either.
Didn't do it, huh? Did you do it, Chinny?
I played it.
You did? Oh, snap.
You played, see? Chinny played it.
All right.
Just me.
All
I'm
right,
the
shall we going to start this, or are we just going to sit
I think
here
so.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Is getting restless.
Oh, by the way, because of you, I don't know about you guys. I've barely played anything.
Well, that's the difference between you and me.
Well, I was going to say we could,
important.
depending on how we go on with time, I thought we could discuss game releases in 2023 and see what's coming up.
Why not?
Why not?
We haven't done our game of the years.
But we'll do that next. That's the next week. Next week.
Is it?
Because we've got to come
we
up with.
We have a week to collate. And,
Well, we've got to come up with. Yeah, we've got to come up with fucking our own things, categories.
We should have done that for today, but we didn't.
Yeah, fuck it.
All right, here we go
busy,
with
man.
the random. So what?
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Here we go, people. Come on. Come on.
Welcome, yo, to the veteran gamers. Juju, Chinny, other fellas will tell you about
got a new hat.
game that you're playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick.
It's my big Springfield behind Shelbyville.
Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers.
Pissing me off.
Yeah, boy.
I'm a potato.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Be with top. If this were a real attack, you'd be dead.
Technically, I'm homeless.
Got him.
Well, it is first one of the year, so I guess you've got to. So, but hello and welcome to episode 678 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yay, 6, 7, 8. This is the first episode we've had that is in sequential order since 1, 2, 3. I don't know if
I see what you're saying there. That's impressive.
We haven't had one since.
And
1, 2,
that
3.
is a long time ago. Can I just say?
It's also a total lie. I'm surprised neither of you called out my bullshit right
Oh,
there.
is there like? Well, I guess
Obviously
there is
would have
5,
had
6,
I was just thinking
7.
about it. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah.
If
5,
you
6,
say
7,
things with confidence,
4,
people
5,
will not
6.
stop
5,
you.
6, 7 would be the last one. Wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that's still quite a long time ago.
Anyway,
2 years.
Right. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
Chinny.
Ginny.
Yeah, we are not military veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
Hey, what happened?
Happy
So,
New Year, everybody.
Happy
This
New
is our first
Year.
show of 2023. It feels so different. It feels so fresh and exciting.
It is. It's like that every week. What are you talking about? It's like a whole new beginning every week.
It's not
That's
at
just
all
us.
fresh or exciting. It's
Of
exactly
course
the
it
same
is.
bollocks as
Of course
every
it
week.
is. I've had a fucking week this week. What a frigging week I've had.
Well, yeah, what's that?
Swear
I
to
mean, a
God.
short week. It was a short week.
Well,
So you couldn't have gotten
it's a
Well,
enough
it
shame
would
time.
be if you weren't
It's
working.
a shame you don't have some sort of platform to share that on, isn't it?
I know. But here's the thing, right?
What's the thing? Go ahead. Tell us the thing.
I've been ill. I've properly been ill, right? Oh, man. On Thursday, so it's not that long ago, actually, on Thursday, I woke up with a horrendous sore throat. So,
Pause.
no,
Pause.
COVID. I need a mask. Somebody give me a mask. It's
Right.
COVID.
Duke, this is absolutely typical of people like Stu, right?
Yeah.
what What now?
COVID.
What?
Every time these people come along and they go, I never get ill, I never get ill.
I never
And
get
people
ill, I
like
never get
me,
ill.
people like me, who I do get ill quite a lot.
Ill all the
right?
time.
Yep.
they go, bloody hell, you're always ill, you're always ill.
Ah, you need to be healthy like
such
me.
a soft
Yeah.
lad.
Sick note, sick note,
Just
chinny, that
bloody
shit.
like sup it up and stop being a big wet, you stupid prick. When they get ill, they claim that they are near death.
I didn't claim that.
I
I
have
just said it
been
was
ill
horrendous
before
sore
Christmas.
throat.
Before Christmas, I was fevering, shivering, everything. After Christmas, I'm still ill now.
Right, you're both sickly ill
Well, let me
people.
finish
You
my
got it.
story
Go
at
on.
least.
Let him finish his
What
story.
I'm saying
Shane,
is,
come on.
I'm
He's
more
just getting
ill than
going.
you.
All right, okay, I'll
Go on,
accept
now
you're
carry
more
on,
ill than
carry
me.
on, carry on.
So anyway,
Go ahead, Dan.
so anyway,
You don't
I
get ill
woke up
very
sore
often, so
throat.
I'll let you have a chance.
Then I was like, ooh, COVID. So I did think COVID. That was the first thing I thought, right? But I thought
Yeah.
I'll do a test when I get home from work. So I had it all day, and it was pretty bad. You know, like
They didn't let you do one at work?
I didn't tell them.
Don't
So
you didn't tell them. Don't you
How
work
did
among
I?
old people?
because I have no other symptoms though, it was literally just a sore
But you
throat.
work among old people, right?
Yeah, no, but I'm in the kitchen on my own, so I don't go.
Oh, I'm
near
only
anyone.
breathing all over their food. It's
Oh,
not going to cause any
God.
danger.
Right. Well, let me finish.
Well, you
So I
you
got-
mentioned that you didn't take a test at work. I thought that
No, I
was
didn't
worthy
because I
of
had no other
questioning.
symptoms. I had no other symptoms. So I got home, did a test. It
I was
was
just
negative,
bleeding out of my eyeballs.
Oh my
Okay, you went
God.
home and you did a test. Go ahead.
and it was negative, right?
Okay, thank
So I was
goodness.
off on Friday, and I was, as it happened, I was going to hospital to have my checkup with a cardiac nurse. So I was like,
I figured
Uh.
I'd tell them that I have COVID.
well, no. So so I phoned the doctors on Friday morning. I was like, "Have you got?" Of course, if no appointments. I mean, the fucking
Of
just
course not.
shockingly shit.
That's
And she
socialized
said-
medicine for you.
I know. So she said, "Oh, well, you know, go to a chemist or go to urgent care." So I thought,
It's
well,
funny she would talk like that.
that's exactly how she spoke.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm going to hospital anyway, so we'll just do a double whammy. I didn't tell the cardiac nurse either, by the way. But I had done another test that morning.
Okay.
And also, what I'd also done was have a look, and I had loads of white spots at the back of my throat, right, in my mouth and stuff.
Sorry, you're self-diagnosing yourself as not having COVID. Is that what you're telling me?
That's not
'Cause you have
COVID,
white
right? So what it
spots?
turns out I've got is
Right,
strep.
so you're diagnosing yourself as not having COVID.
I've got strep throat. So I did 2 tests,
Okay.
Duke, and they both came back negative.
Okay, great.
So it appeared I had strep throat, which is
Right.
fucking going around strep A. Everybody's got their shit. I don't know. Kids, fucking strep. Who gives a shit?
So all you
Anyway,
did was breathe all over old people's food with your strep throat is all.
yeah, that's highly contagious as well, as it happens. So
But it's a good thing you didn't tell anybody.
I had a mask on. It's fine. It went in the mask.
Well, I'm glad you had a
So-
mask on.
So anyway, I went to the hospital, had my
Yes.
cardiac thing,
Yes.
waited for an hour, and now I've got to take fucking about 100 antibiotic tablets. I was like, oh my God. And they're massive.
See, I might look at this and say,
Courses.
man, A, it could have been a lot worse. B, thank goodness I live in a time of modern medicine where I can have
I
it cleared up
suppose.
very quickly.
It's
but-
not though. It's still sore now. Honestly.
Well,
why my
relative
voice
to how
sounds
it would have
so,
been 100 years ago, you're probably.
Well, I
gonna
guess
get
I'd probably
better very
die.
quick, I
But
hope.
that's why my voice sounds so sexy tonight is because of
Well,
the.
your voice always sounds
the
sexy.
band. I know that is true. I'm a handsome guy in a sexy voice. There you go. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. That's it. So I'm fucking ill, but hopefully it'll go in a
I'm
couple
sorry
of
you're
days,
ill.
maybe.
Chinny, you said you're still ill?
Yeah, Chinny's just ill all the
I'm
time,
just
isn't
ill
he?
all the time. Yeah, I had a fever.
note,
my
Chinny.
mum and
Sorry
dad
to
are
hear it.
ill. I
Yeesh.
didn't
Are they
really see my
feeling any
mum.
better?
No, my mum is
Oh,
really
jeez.
bad.
Oh God.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
That sucks.
you know, so like,
Is she getting better though?
apparently she was better this morning.
Good.
That's good.
That's good news.
So
That's good news. That's what we want.
yeah, we're ill. Like where was it? Not yesterday, the day before, maybe the 30th of December. I had no energy. I couldn't do anything, and
That
yeah.
stinks.
it's
Has Tara gotten ill in all of this?
a little bit,
Yeah.
not much. But even her brother got ill, and he's like Stu. He's like never gets ill, never
Yeah.
gets ill,
Mm.
and even he got ill. So yeah, it's
Stinks.
pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Well, I hope y'all feel better soon. I'm feeling
Yeah,
great.
hopefully so. Well, that's
I
good.
took the day off of grading.
I'm hoping I'll
Again.
feel better soon.
Yeah, it's been. I've actually done very well sticking to my grading regimen over winter break. A lot of times I'll just push it off, and then the last day or two of break, I'm like, I got so much to do. But this year, over winter break, I started on Tuesday. There's like a week to go before we got to go back. But I realized there's a lot going on. If I do a little bit each day, I'll stick up. And I had 6 classes, so I've done 4 out of the 6 already. So tomorrow I'll just take care of the last 2.
Good.
You're
Job
welcome.
done.
Yeah.
I like
And
the
that's,
way
you
you
know, I've
structured
had these
it.
papers for like a year, so the fact that it took me this long to grade them is pretty embarrassing. But whatever,
Wow.
man. I had other stuff to do. You're lucky you
You-
got them back at all, kids.
To be fair, I find it a bit hypocritical
What?
because, well, you'd expect your kids to get their assignments in on time, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But you can take as long as you like to grade them.
Well, yeah, that is a bit hypocritical. But on the other hand,
Yeah.
the question is, how long do I give them for their assignments, and how long do I need to grade their papers?
Well, that is true, I guess. How long do
I
you
mean,
give
if
them
we
for
want to
their
think about it
assignments?
this way, like, okay, I just got done grading essays, right? So for AP English,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had, well, there's 25 kids in each class, give or take. So that's 2 pages each. So that's 100 pages of writing. How long would you want to take to read a 100-page novel?
Not that long, I guess.
Really? You'd want 3
Well,
days to read a
100
100-page novel?
100 pages, probably about, I don't know, day.
You
maybe
think
a
you
few
read
hours.
100 Okay, now imagine you
Few
have to
hours.
put comments on every page.
Yeah, that's a long time, isn't it?
Yes, it is a
Wow.
long time.
Yeah, I'll
And
give
you
you
have to
that.
evaluate every 2 pages as a unit. I'm just saying, I'm not looking for pity. You come at me, I'm going to let you know why it takes so long. So, because look, here's the point. I could just put a score on it and give it back in a day,
Yeah,
as you say.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
I could do that, but I'm not going to do that because that doesn't actually help kids get better at writing. I want my students to get better at writing, so I'm going to give them feedback. And this is after I spent 3 weeks meeting with every student to talk about their outline and then meeting again with every student to talk about the first paragraph of their essay. So I come correct. I don't come quickly, but I come
Wow.
correct. So
Okay. I'll give you
anyway,
that.
somebody got a story to
My
tell?
favorite time. It's story time.
Story time.
Nope, that's it. I've done my story. Chinny,
The
anything from
Duchess
you?
is building a seesaw for the goats.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, why do goats need a seesaw
They
again?
love it.
Just
They
remind me?
love it.
They like to
Surprising.
hop around. They want to go out and explore, but it's winter time and she
They love
doesn't
it.
have a way to like let them out. So she's trying to help them be entertained inside the little shed area.
Why don't you
So-
put like a little show on, like a pantomime or something? You could do that.
Yes, goats love panto.
How
there's
do you know
nothing
unless you
goats love
try?
more.
Oh,
I
if
think
you
it'd be
put
a
like a
bit-
big
yeah.
bendy metal sheet, like half a circle, they love that. They
Yeah,
walk
sure.
on it and they bend
There's
on
that.
it.
I think either of those would,
Yeah.
and one takes significantly less time to get ready. So
What about charades? You like
No.
charades? No? No.
No.
Karaoke.
I think they like
Everyone loves karaoke.
port and Chardonnay. Ha! It
Ah.
sounded like Stu said Shiraz.
I see what you're doing there.
Because it's so funny.
It's so funny. Luke, by the way.
All right, no one's got any stories. We're talking about.
Where
video
are you
games.
going? Story time's over.
I was just going to say, by the way, Adam's brother Luke
Nope,
is in
no
the
time.
game. Wow, Z.
Hey, I said it and I got a story.
Let's
Nobody
do
has a
ready
story.
play.
I don't stand on ceremony, son.
Jesus
Someone-
Christ, this is like soundbite overload.
Someone being in the chat isn't story time, Stu.
No, I was just saying he's here. He actually came back for a second week, weirdly. Who would do that?
Well,
I don't know what's going on here.
What else are you gonna do on your Sunday
Duke,
night?
lay off the sound effects.
Yeah. So Luke's in the chat. Apparently he
Hi,
was
Luke.
dressed as George. Was he dressed as George Ezra last night? Can you confirm that, Luke? They had a fancy dress party at their house.
I
and he
tried.
was
Hi, Ian. Hi, James. Hi, Lord.
George Ezra. To be fair, if I'd have seen him dressed as George Ezra, they'd probably poked him in the eye because fucking George Ezra is shit.
Now I
I
sound
say.
like DJ Mark V.
Awful.
This
Awful.
is great content. Can we talk about the
Team
fucking
Duke.
games?
Yeah.
please?
Yes, I will
Okay.
go first this week since I'm the only one who played any games. Apparently,
Correct.
Correct.
no,
That's
not
you.
really, but whatever. I did play some games. I played Rocket League because Rocket League is a lot of fun. And I had someone come at me, and he was like, occasionally you have a teammate who gets pissed off at you, and they'll be like, "You suck."
Oh no.
Is that it?
No, he froze.
Oh no.
This is what happens when you freeze, Stu. You know when you freeze?
I know. Yeah.
That's what happens.
What?
Last thing we heard was "you suck."
Yeah, it was
Okay,
good though.
well,
it was
I
at
do.
the end of a sentence. It's fine.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm sorry that I froze. What? Oh, it says my internet connection's unstable. Are you hearing me now?
Well,
Yes.
You better cheer it
Uh-oh.
up.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Hey,
Go
all
quick,
right.
quick.
All right. So anyway, that's not gonna help. It's not like
Well,
I,
quickly,
anyway.
quickly.
So I always tell people, like, get over yourself. This one dude, he went looking at my stats on Steam.
Yeah.
Like he was proper stalking me. I'm like, dude, what is your
Wow.
problem?
Yeah.
And he's like, how could you have played so many games and then you still suck? And I try to reason with people. That's the stupidest argument in the world, by the way. By
Yeah.
that logic, an 80-year-old boxer will always beat a 20-year-old boxer. It's just nonsense, right? Time spent doing a thing by itself does not make you good at a thing, right? We all agree on that, right?
Well,
really?
You see, but your ranking is diamond something, isn't it? So you've got a good rank. So
it's a good
I'll
rank.
be honest.
And by the way, hang on a second. It's the exact same rank as this person who's giving me shit.
No, I
so
get
what is
that.
he even talking about? You suck. I'm exactly as good as you, dude. Exactly as good.
But did you suck?
Well, I made some mistakes in the game, but so did my teammate. And here's the thing that I noticed. This is the new thing about Rocket League that I want to say this week that I haven't ever said before.
Yeah.
I believe that, Chinny plays some co-op games with his mates at times. But by and large, I'm the only person who tends to play competitive games with other people. And I'm not saying that as a matter of, impact or anything. I'm just saying it because it's a different kind of experience.
You mean on this show? On this show?
Yeah, on the podcast.
The three of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Of the three of us. Yeah.
I play
I'm the
snooker
only one who plays-
competitively. Is that?
Yeah,
is
he
that
does.
Yeah, but you're playing alone.
No, I'm playing a part of the team.
Yeah.
Are you? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So okay, you can relate then. Like, but on the other hand, and I'm not trying to make any weird distinctions, but
Are you trying to compare Rocket League to snooker? Is that what you do?
No, it obviously takes a lot more skill to play snooker than it does.
I thought he was
going
going to say Rocket League then.
No. They're just different games. That's all. It's a different kind of skill. But the point is that I'm dealing with a lot of randos. If I had a team. If I had a teammate that I could pair up with and play twos on the regular, and I could have one if I, invested the time. But again, that's the thing. I don't want to be beholden to a schedule. I don't want to be beholden to a regimen of training to get good. So anyway, whatever. It just occurred to me that
you
it's
are
a
at a
weird
disadvantage playing solo.
Huge disadvantage. Right.
Yeah.
So whatever. I just again, look. Here's the other thing I noticed is that. It's really not a matter of being good or bad. It's a matter of does your play at a certain point, like once you've got your skills, right? And I'm at a plateau that I've been at for a while. I spend more and more time in Diamond these days than I did in the past. I've not spent much time at Diamond 2. I'm just Diamond 1 and I'm pretty much plateaued there. Probably forever.
You gotta believe in yourself.
Yeah, you need to have more belief.
I don't care about rank. That's the thing. But here's the point. Once you do that, once you get to that level. Okay, there are certain skills I could improve on, wave dashing and aerials and stuff, but I'm not trying to put in all the practice to get good at that stuff.
Get good.
The point then becomes, can you find somebody whose play style is complementary to your own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, when I play, I'm very aggressive. My whole philosophy in Rocket League is get to the ball first, get in the enemy's face, make them make mistakes, keep the pressure on them. And a lot of other people are like, I'm going to wait for the ball to come to me so I can hit it at a better angle. I'm going to dribble slowly. I'm going to try to juke out the other people. And in order to juke out your opponent in Rocket League, you need to be really good at dribbling. And most people at Diamond 1 are not really good at dribbling. So I watch them try to juke out the opponent and they, 90% of the time it just becomes a turnover and the enemy takes the ball. And I'm like, dude, it's better if we keep
you can see Duke sees this as a war, can't you? Because it's like the enemy.
Well, of course.
It's not like just the person I'm playing against.
What game are you going to play against someone else that's not a war?
Stu, when I'm playing snooker, it's a fucking war.
Can I just ask you though, Chinny, though? If you lose a match in your team snooker event, does your other teammates go, "You fucking suck, you fucking wanker"?
They actually do.
Your mum.
Yeah. But the team that I play with,
get good.
They're all very, very lovely
You
blokes.
suck.
But they do say, unlucky Chin, yeah, unlucky. That was fucking shit though. Like if I play shit, they say like if I'm
sure you know
they don't butter it up or anyway. Look, I tell you, it's a working class club. Stu.
See, it's not isolated just to Rocket League, Duke.
They don't.
Well, no.
They don't sweeten you up. If you play shit, they just call it. Like I once come out of a tournament. I went to the final of the Christmas knockout. By the way.
Oh, well done.
I went to the final. I played brilliantly. I knocked in a 55 in the semi-final. I was playing really, really well. And then I played really bad in the final. And the barman who plays snooker as well, I came out. His name was Bill, and he went, "Well, Mick, that was fucking shit." And then that's all he said. You know, so and he's not wrong. Like it wasn't great.
It wasn't wrong.
It's just difficult. Snooker's very difficult. But yeah, so I do get abused, but not as much as not the same level. But There is, put it
And
this
part
way,
of
the
that is
way
because
the way
you know
the
the
club's
people.
set up, it's like glass walls. So when you're playing your match, everybody's watching you, and
There
every
you
time you do a good shot, you can hear them through the glass going, "Oh, you know, that was a good shot." And every time you do a bad shot, you can hear them go, "Fucking hell, what the fuck?" You know, like you can hear them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
pressure environment that you play
I'll
in, and there's
bet.
got to be about
yeah.
there's about 15 blokes watching you, you know, all on the teams and stuff. So yeah,
See,
it's
that's the
pressure.
kind of pressure I don't have to deal with. I mean, there's the people on the other team, there's the people on my team, but
Yeah.
for the most part, it's and again, I show up just to have fun. Like I'm not in tournaments, I'm not trying to try hard or anything like that. So the fact that people take it so seriously, like in my view, there's a balance in how
Yeah.
seriously you want to take it. Because if it's casual, like who cares? Whatever. My teammate screws up, it doesn't matter even a little bit. There are people who get mad at casual. I'm like, dude, it's casual. Get over yourself. When it comes to ranked, like I don't want to let my teammate down. I want to make sure that I'm giving it my best shot. And if I have a bad game, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm having a bad game. I'll admit it right away and often.
Yeah,
But
you want to make
these
sure you're
people
doing the
take it-
wiggle dribble, whatever the hell it is.
Well, that's the thing is like some people take it way too seriously and they get really enraged and they never forgive or admit their own mistakes and they just, assume that you just suck. And it's like, dude, okay, look, this is why it's so important for everybody to understand what a data point is, right? If this is your first time listening to our podcast, sorry, I apologize. I don't know how you found this, but you've really stepped in.
What the hell is snooker?
Yeah, snooker. What the
You've listened to about
fuck is
25
snooker?
minutes of us talking. That's, a few data points, right? In order to say this podcast sucks, you would really need to listen to the whole show in order to really be fair with that assessment. You wouldn't be wrong, but you know what I mean? Like,
you could figure it out in the first 10 minutes. To be fair.
Yeah, you could, to be fair.
I mean,
Oh my
maybe.
God,
But if
we're
you only
fucking
listen to 30
terrible.
seconds, that's just one data point. You know what I mean? So if you watch me play one game of Rocket League, that's
Yeah.
one data point or maybe a few data points, right? And you can't just make I'm having a bad game. I might be having a bad day. But to say that you suck at this game, that's just so
I
horrible.
don't know. I don't know,
really
dude, whether I completely agree with you. And I'm
Well, you
not
haven't
saying
played
their
Rocket League in
assessment
like 30
is
years,
right.
so I don't even know how much I am.
I don't know whether
curious
their
about
assessment is right, but consistency is the key, isn't it, to any of this kind of thing?
Yeah,
you know,
and
being
human beings are
consistent.
by nature inconsistent. We have
if
our
you
good
do
days
something
and bad
enough, you
days.
get consistently good at something, don't you? Like you.
Keep telling yourself that you're just
diamond
always good at
one.
whatever you're good at. You
I'm
never
not.
make mistakes
No, I'm
when you're
fucking
DJing.
terrible. I'm terrible because I don't apply myself enough.
How consistent
But-
were you at Gears
Well,
of
it is.
War?
If you apply yourself, you get better at something. That's just the way things work, isn't it?
But that doesn't mean you're always going to be as good as you ever were.
Yeah.
Human beings fluctuate. That's the way we function. I mean, professionals can be, yes, at a consistent level, but
Yeah,
even professionals. Serena Williams has a bad game here or there.
Yeah, but
like-
she's getting old now, isn't she? But the mistakes
trying to have this conversation.
professionals make are small mistakes. Not
Oh, you're freezing up
crappy
now.
ones. They're not like, yeah. Just saying.
Well, all I'll
Dunno.
say is this. Look, I've said over and over again, I don't come to Rocket League with the, certainty that I am the greatest. I admit that I fluctuate, and I think that, that's just human nature. And, to be honest, I don't really care that much. I care to the extent that I want to make sure I'm there for my teammate and not disappointing them. All I ask is that my teammates do the same for me, and I forgive them as I want to be forgiven, and I want them to forgive me the way they want to be forgiven. Nothing makes me happier than seeing someone make some mistakes at the start of the game and I go, no problem. And then they do really well later on in the game because human beings fluctuate. And then we're in a great, vibe at that point. If they made some mistakes early on and I went, you suck, fucking learn how to play, uninstall. They're not going to get to that better state later on because they're in this angry mood because I've been nasty to them. So all I'm saying is human beings have a choice all the time about whether to be forgiving or to be nasty and vengeful. And I urge everybody to be forgiving. So
Can I ask a question, Duke?
Go ahead,
Right.
fire away.
Because I know you pretty well. We've known each other a long time.
At least 2 years now.
And we've had a feature on the show called Cranky Duke.
Oh yeah, I am the crank.
You are an angry kind of person sometimes.
Sometimes,
do
but I
you
fluctuate
never-
because I'm a human.
Do you never get angry at another player that you play with? Ever?
I do. But here's the thing. I try my best, and I'm not always good at it, but I really try hard to keep my anger outside of the game itself. In other words, I will be, the Duchess will tell you, she can hear me upstairs. I'll be like, what are you doing, teammate? Come on, be ready, get in the goal. but I'm not. And again, I try not to type it into the chat, but occasionally I will be like, when we lose, usually I wait until we lose the game. If we lose a game because of mistakes that my opponent or my teammate made, in addition to mistakes that I've made, which I will always admit, I might type in the chat something like, I guess waiting for the ball to arrive is not a winning strategy.
Whoa, sarcasm, man. Oof,
And when I put it like that, the other team will often laugh. So if it's 2v2, my teammate can be mad, but I've made it in a humorous way. So it's like, and look, the reason I say it like that is because I'm trying to help my opponent realize, and usually during the game I've said, go for it. Like I've set up passes and they're not ready for them and things like that. I'm trying to get them to recognize the mistake that they made in waiting around for the ball. And when I make mistakes, again, which I do often, usually it's because I whiff. Like I'm putting the pressure on trying to get in the enemy's face and I will not connect with the ball a lot of the time, which, I need to get better at my accuracy. Okay, you could make fun of me for that all you want because it's true and I will admit it. The problem is that people don't always admit when I say, hey, don't wait for the ball to arrive. They'll be like, shut the fuck up. And I'll be like, okay, I thought we may be able to have a conversation about how we can get better at this game.
As if we would ever make fun of you, Duke.
Yeah, I know. Nobody ever makes fun of
me.
I never do anything worth making fun of.
Never do that.
Yep.
That's
all right, who's next?
Longest we've talked about Rocket League for a long while.
In a long time. It was a long time, to be fair.
But, people are interested.
I played the new I played the new Warzone.
Oh yeah.
Oh right, okay. Because you are a Warzone fan.
I played the new Warzone. I played the new Warzone.
And is it very different from the old Warzone?
I don't know anymore.
You don't know.
I don't know what was going on. I'm too old. So Matt Weston said, "Do you want to play Warzone?" And I said, "No." But then he said, "Go on." And I said, "All right." He loves Warzone. There's a few modes. The main mode, which is like all the map, the whole lot, is huge. Is absolutely huge. However, there is another one. There's another mode where you can play, and it's like the same map, but it's smaller sections of the same map. So he likes that one, so we play that one, and
it's all battle royale, yeah.
It's all battle royale, and whatnot. I don't know. It's fine. It's like it's more of that stuff. I feel like the main difference was there are backpacks.
Okay.
Backpacks, and yeah.
What do you keep in that? Like you pack lunch, drink,
pack lunch. Apple? Yeah, a bit of apple, chargers for your phone.
Sex toys.
Sex toys.
Well, you had to go there, didn't you?
Well, you've got to lower the.
Yeah, why have you got to lower the tone?
So that's what I do. I'm cranky and I lower the tone. Bathroom humor. Do you have your poop suppositories?
I got shit in there, man. I got a turd.
I don't know what poop suppositories are.
Toilet roll. That'd be a good thing to keep in it. You know what I mean? That'd be fine.
It's called bog roll. Let's be
so as far as I could tell, it was like pretty much the same. I suppose I'm not like one of these. Yo, let's go, motherfucker. Okay, Call of Duty. Okay, they fucking completely nerfed the fucking M4, man. What the fuck? From what I know,
Can I just ask you a question?
That's because you don't play it well enough to know
Watching this video is making me feel dizzy. Is this at normal speed?
This is how
it's
people
fucking
play
ridiculous.
The game. Yeah,
it's like this.
Around.
Oh my god!
Yeah, this is how.
Call of Duty's always been fast and frenetic.
This is what they call optimal play. So like jumping around, slide, cancel.
I mean, if you play it enough, you get to know the maps and you come to expect where the enemy will be.
It looks ridiculous.
I'm sorry, the other players. I shouldn't.
You're ridiculous.
No, this looks fucking ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
Why
no, you're ridiculous.
What do you mean by that? What looks ridiculous?
Just the speed.
The jumping.
Sliding.
Slide cancel. This is how the kids play it, Stu. This is how they play it.
God, it's making me.
It's like
feel
on The
a bit
Simpsons when
nauseous.
Bart was playing some video game and it was like, go air down, like that was 20 years ago. Now,
okay, guys, welcome to
this
this video where I'm going to show you the most optimal loadout. Okay, this loadout is totally broken and they haven't even fixed it yet, so I'm just going to show you what a loadout is. First, subscribe, like this video. Okay, here we go. Slide cancel. What?
Yeah, and TikTok proved that video is 30 seconds too long, right?
Yeah.
It's move, come on.
It's almost like we've come full circle from like Quake Online or something.
Yeah,
Anyway,
exactly.
Stop talking. So the
It
the-
looks like a very fast game. Here.
the
Yeah, it's too
the
fast
the
for my
thing
old
that I've
brain
heard,
speed,
the thing that I've heard about Warzone 2, I have played it. I don't really know the difference. I don't know the what's the word, Duke? The intricacies.
Intricacies.
Of
yes.
like
Yeah, it's a good word.
of what they're talking about. But from what to me, it sort of feels like the same. Yeah, there's a few differences, but it sort of feels like the same. What I've heard on the grapevine is that they've done a lot to balance the game for people, right? So if you're
Okay.
middle-aged, if you're like, a young person playing this game, there are paper, rock, scissors situations to sort that problem out, right? And then what I saw on TikTok was a lot of young people, like 18, 21, 24, upset that like, oh, they've totally broke it because, there's a way around this and there's a way around that, and basically older gamers have ways out of like, basically they balance the game and young people are mad
Yeah.
and other people,
Because you can't
that's
just
kind
pull
of
noobs all the time.
so what I know for this, I might be wrong, but from what I've learned is that the game is very balanced. There are still some guns that are powerful. None of us are more favoured than others as always, but it's a pretty balanced experience.
So what did he do for the new? If it was me, for instance, what would he do for me to make it more balanced?
I have no fucking idea.
I don't
shit.
think there's
I
fucking
have a
anything
clue.
they could do.
I mean, ultimately, the game will be difficult for anyone that plays it, right? Like it's a difficult.
Right, they're not trying to make it too solicitous of new
Yeah.
players.
The only thing I noticed is that loadouts don't seem to be as big as a deal anymore, but there are loadouts from what I know. I don't know. There's a few other like different types of objectives like cracking safes and all this sort of stuff, but it's very similar to like some of the other objectives that you had in the other Warzone. But the game mode that Matt made me play, and he likes it because there's more of a chance to win. Matt's only interested in winning. He doesn't care about. He just wants to win. Like he doesn't play me at snooker because he knows he won't win, right? So he just wants
so he
to
won't
win.
take anything on unless he thinks
Unless
he can
there's
win.
a chance to win. So he prefers the ones where it's a smaller section of the large map because there's less numbers, therefore there's more of a chance for you to win. And it is a little less chaotic. It's quicker games. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit easier to sort of. But we still got absolutely battered, But to be fair, the first game that I played with Matt, he went down 3 times. I killed 4 people. It's like it's business as usual for me. Like it's very hard. I'm not great at it. But what I find is when I play this with people that are really good players, like my friend Damo or Connors, who are just absolutely invested in this, they know all the tricks, right? They go, okay, this is what we do now, and then this is what we do, and you learn. You go, oh, actually, this is probably the best way to play it. And they go, yeah, don't use that, use this, and they're not teaching me proactively. It's more of a serendipitous way of sort of picking up the game. And they start to just go, oh, do this, and then we do this, and then we make sure we get these first, and then we do move over. And you're like, oh right, okay, this is how good people play the game. So I am.
So you basically just mimic what they do.
Yeah, I mean, like when I'm playing with a friend of mine called Connors, who I don't speak. I probably speak to Connors every 3 years or something like that. All right, but when I play with him, he's a very good player, and I just sort of follow him. I don't even I don't know. I just say I'll follow you. I don't know. Last time in the last Warzone, he just told me what loadout to pick. I was like, just do this in your loadout. But he's not. He's nice about it, Duke. He's not like do this, play well.
Right,
he's like,
right.
oh yeah, if you want to do, if you want this, this is the best way.
Yeah.
So I haven't really experienced it like that yet. I don't know all the details, but from what I can tell, it's more Warzone. It's fine, and people are starting to like it. When it came out, everybody was like, "It's not Warzone." But no, I think
that's exactly how they spoke.
I think people are warming up to it. I think it's a good one. Will I play it anymore? I don't know. I'm barely playing it.
You probably will. You like this game, don't you? You played a lot of the original
I
one.
play it because other people I know play it. That's pretty much the only reason.
Yeah.
Peer pressure,
Nice
man.
social game.
Yeah, it's a social game.
It's a fun time to spend time with friends.
It is.
It is.
I remember I used to play games for that reason.
Yeah, they should. Well, I've only played one game this week, and I've played a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
And that game will be Elden Ring. I've beaten the first 2 bosses. I've beaten the first 2 bosses.
Oh yeah. A medal on easy
give me a
mode. On
fucking
easy
medal.
mode.
Give me a fucking medal. It is easy, but it's not easy. if that
So
makes kind of any sense. It's easier,
Boomer mode.
but there's still some challenge in the game, and a lot of it comes environmentally rather than enemy wise, because the enemies are easier, but you do come across some that are hard to kill.
Oh, by the way, Happy New Year. Well, I don't think we've said that. Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Yeah,
Tim Kelly,
Happy New Year.
Luke,
I said that at the start
Trite,
of it.
Harley, Dan, Joysticks and
But-
Chill. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Even on difficult mode, this game is pretty forgiving in the save areas because there's always a sight of grace before a big boss.
Yeah.
There's always one near anything that's particularly hard. So they know that people are gonna, and the good thing about, I mean, even if I was playing it in normal mode, you know whether you can beat something or not, and you know instantly because obviously 2 hits you're dead.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only difference with playing it in the mode I'm playing it in is you don't have to grind as much. So there's not nearly as much grinding to get
about
to the
bump and
level you
grind?
need
Good
to
thing.
be.
What about bump and grind?
Come on. Yeah.
True.
Can you bump
But
and grind?
what I have noticed, and a lot like Oblivion,
That's a very bump and grindy kind of song.
this game has got a lot of interesting stuff going on, and it's a hell of a lot deeper than you first realised. And
Give us
what
an
happens is, so when you get past the very first area
Yeah.
of the game, it kind of takes you into a more linear section, really, because the first area is kind of open world, you know, and it feels huge and vast. But once you get past the very first boss, it becomes this huge sort of trek of attrition through this castle area, which is all like windy paths and
Is that what
secret-
is that what we're seeing now?
No, this is the opening. So this
Oh.
is a very open area. So this is a very opening. You can if you can find a bit of the
Fast
the
forward,
sort of-
like a videotape.
fast forward. Come on, give it a. So yeah, it does quickly descend into a more linear type game, but that's fine because there's so many different ways through these areas and there's so many secrets to find. And for instance, like I've got to a gate that's locked, but I need to find a key.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm sort of investigating this whole massive swamp area, and there was just like this weird thing glowing. So I clicked on it, and then footprints
You
appeared,
did?
and I had to. No, I didn't actually. And I had to follow the footprints, and the sort of this ghost like apparition kept appearing and then disappearing.
dead?
Just no.
Oh.
And eventually it led me through all these like areas, and I came to this like I guess an underground mine or something.
And it exploded and
me
he
to-
dead.
And then I was dead. And he took me to a whole new area.
Scam.
But you never know what you're going to come up against. So you get there and you're like, have I got what I need to? And I realized I had to have a magic attack. Luckily, I had one because I'd bought one and enabled it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do any damage at all to the enemies in there. So it is quite interesting how this game sort of changes a lot, and it's so fucking beautiful. I mean, the best way to describe this game is that it is grimly beautiful. I mean, it's so desolate.
Yeah, it's because the world is desolate.
It is. It's desolate. It's unforgiving.
No, but that's like the real world. It's just
It is like the
exactly
real
right.
world.
Because that's
But-
how life is. Nothing but suffering and misery and pain.
But at the same time, it is also just stunningly rendered. And even just the amount of thought that's just gone into each of these areas and how they're going to work and how one thing leads on to another.
One thing leads to another.
I'm absolutely amazed.
Did I just see that horse double jump?
Yeah, the horse double
You can
jump.
double jump in this game?
You
Oh,
can double jump
sweet,
on a
I'm in.
horse.
I
Double
heard you
jump
can do
on a
that in
horse.
Rocket League too.
Oh, and can I just clarify, by the way? I found out after I'd spoken on the show last week, you don't have to even be at a site of grace to fast travel to another one. You can just fast travel whenever you want to wherever you want.
So you fucked
So
up.
to any, no, it didn't make any
So
odds.
you shit.
But no, I just told duff information last week. That's all.
Right. You shit. Yeah.
But yeah, basically, you can just travel to wherever the hell you like. The only difference is that once you travel, everything respawns, whatever you've killed already.
Oh, no.
But that's not a bad thing either, because what you realize is that sort of as long as you've progressed in the game, it doesn't matter because any of the stuff in front of you would have been there anyway. Does that kind of make sense? So if
Yeah.
you've got to a certain stage in the game, it doesn't really matter whether you rest or level up or whatever, because that stuff's always going to be in front of you to fight.
How many
But-
hours are you in?
Oh God, I dread to think I've played so much of this game. I've played nothing else this week. This
So how
is
many hours are
literally
you
the
in?
only game. I'm reckoning I must be getting on for 15 to 20 hours now.
15, 20 hours. Okay.
Yeah, I've literally played
You
nothing
are
else.
in. You are in
I'm
this
fucking
game.
both feet in, and I've got the thing, man. I've got the thing is I'm thinking about it when I'm not playing it, and when I'm not playing it, I'm
Yeah,
thinking
that's what's up.
I could be
This
playing it.
game has got you by the balls.
It has, but
Yeah,
it,
it
it,
does.
it would never have done that had it not been for installing the easy mode mod. Because I
Yeah.
don't think I'd have ever really gone back to it. I think I'd have got to a point where I was just like, I can't be arsed. And I think it does make it easier. That is true, but I think it just speeds it up. Do you know
Well,
what I mean?
yeah.
It just speeds
It
up the
takes
time.
out the
it takes.
drudgery of it. I
It
think.
takes out the drudgery. Yeah, I like that. It's a good way of looking at it, and it makes it fun to play. And also
Why do you want
because
that?
well, and because you're not getting instantly killed all the time, you get better at the combat because you've got more time to think about it, and you're not instantly like, oh shit, I'm gonna die in a second. You know
Now,
what I
to
mean?
be fair, everybody's fun is different. Some people like the drudgery. I mean, I just talked
Yeah.
last week about a game with property taxes in it. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah. That's true.
Not me. I just want to
That's
fucking
fine.
not die
You
all the
don't have
time.
to love what I love.
Um,
You know, no
but
shame on
Duke-
someone who likes the drudgery.
Duke, I think if you played this game with Easy Mod installed, I think you would really like it. I really
I
do.
might.
I think
ain't
you
getting
would.
it this Steam sale.
I definitely think you would.
Duly
well, I
noted.
know
Thank
you
you for
would.
your
I know you pretty
recommendation.
much would. Because
Okay.
it's got so much shit. There's so much shit going on. So good,
Yes.
and it feels satisfying when
hear.
you kill something hard.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying. You know what I mean?
Just
You do
imagine
get
how
that.
satisfied you'd be if you played it for real.
Well, maybe. But the only difference would be, I'd still probably be about the same hardness when I fight a boss. Yes. But it would have just taken me a lot longer to get to that level. I'd have had to respawn everything a lot of times to eventually, do you know what I mean, beat the boss. So that's it. I'll just have to fight stuff over and over again a lot more.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Get it played. That's all I can say, because this fucking
Just play
game
it.
is great.
Play it.
I can understand why it's game of the year on a lot of people's lists.
Okay.
I really can.
to know.
Superb. Very impressive. That horse is
Yeah.
ridiculous, can I just say? I ain't done any of this shit.
That's because you're not a true gamer.
No, I haven't even. You see, this
With
is
an
the trouble.
indestructible horse.
I'm well out of this area, and I haven't even found
You
any
call
of this.
yourself a
flying
veteran
horse?
gamer?
I know, yeah. I just
Man,
I haven't
jeez.
even got up here.
Noob gamer, more like.
Fucking
Noob
noob.
gamer.
That's what I mean. This is what I'm talking about. Depth. There's just so many areas.
Yeah,
That you
the
wouldn't-
waterfall
you
goes
wouldn't
on
even
forever.
know.
There's a lot of depth there.
It's 3D.
Yeah.
It's a 3D, yeah.
That you wouldn't
Lake.
even know about unless you know, found it.
Limgrave.
You died. Lucky
That's the
died.
name of an area in the game. You
It is.
died.
It is. So, Chinny, are you going to tack on the challenge and play this game then? Because you said you would.
Yeah, I'll play it.
You need to play it.
I'll play it on normal mode though.
Yeah, I know you said that. We'll see.
I
We'll
ain't
be
gonna play it on
interested to see how you
pussy
get on.
mode.
Well, we'll see how long it takes you to get into pussy mode.
Yeah, no. I'll play it on normal mode. Yeah, I'll play it. I think it's just one of those games it's getting difficult to ignore, isn't it? You know.
It is. And the only other thing I say, just even the design of the monsters is just ridiculous.
I do like the design of the monsters. They do
Oh,
look cool.
Fucking unbelievable. Like, even the first boss and the second boss, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Who comes up with this shit?
Dave.
I think it is Dave. I think it is Dave. And even
Dave, he's
the
twisted, man. Dave's got problems.
the amount that the enemies vary in how they fight. Do you know what I mean? It's
Well,
just
yeah.
like, you can't believe how much variation they can come up with.
Sure.
You know, with like attack patterns and shit like that. Because every new enemy is like a new challenge because they do something completely different to the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally give it a go. Honestly, it's ridiculous.
Just play it.
Let's play it. All
See
right.
if I'm good.
Let's talk about Ghost Song.
Yeah, bitch. Play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection. So this is the feature in the show where we all agree to play the same game, and
Don't we,
so we
Stu?
all played it,
Sorry.
except Stu didn't play it.
I
Son of a
busy
bitch.
going to
yeah, I'm so
hospital.
sorry. I don't know.
Anyway,
don't know what to say.
the game this week was Ghost Song, which is an atmospheric 2D platform Metroidvania type of game.
It's Metroid.
Yeah, it is Metroid.
What
you're
if we
running
made a
around these
game
tunnels.
like Metroid. Anything else?
Okay, here's
No,
your money.
no, no. Just like Metroid. Cool.
It's exactly like Stummies.
Yeah, I thought that the graphics were good and the atmosphere felt pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
I reached a point where I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do because there was this high cliff.
That's Metroid.
And yeah, so I was like, okay, I guess I got to go the other way. Eventually, I went down and I found the save spot, which I guess I had thought that it was auto-saving, but I guess I was wrong. So I'm glad I found the save spot. And then I upgraded my shooter. You have a cannon arm, and then you have melee attacks. And for whatever reason, your melee attacks do more damage when your cannon arm is red hot. So I guess that's because your arm is hot, so you're battering people up.
That's hot.
Yeah. And controls felt pretty good. Like I said, it looks good. The world seems interesting. Yes, Luke is correct. Shadow of Mordor is absolutely amazing. Glad you like it.
Yeah.
Don't play the sequel. It's not very
Yeah, I
good.
don't play the sequel.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
more of
don't-
the same,
don't-
but
yeah.
they made some dumb mistakes in the way that the game.
Don't get excited about a sequel. It's fine.
And this is, it's cute. I went to the left after I went down. I went back up and then to the left, and I guess I ran into a boss or something because he kicked my ass real quick,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
I just want to say, this game. I'm done.
because it took you back to the save spot down below, and I was like, getting back up to that. I mean, it doesn't take very long, but I've reached a point where I'm just like, spend a minute going back to that spot. Nah, fuck this.
Yeah.
I want to just keep fighting that boss over and over, like right away.
Yeah.
Put me right
So
back
you
in,
see,
coach.
Duke, if you played Elden Ring, there's like a save point directly before the boss. So that wouldn't be a problem for you. Just get straight
Every
back
week,
in there.
whatever
That's cute.
anybody talks about, Stu brings it back to whatever he's playing.
That's right.
I'm just saying. I'm just doing a comparison for him.
Hashtag just saying.
Yeah, you know what? That's true about Stu. Every other game in existence. So
Yeah.
Not
you're right.
not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Mint safe. Happy New Year.
Anyway,
hello.
I didn't play Ghost Song for very long. It gave me some of what I wanted, but I think, at this point, here's the other thing. You can lose at Rocket League, but even a game when I lose in Rocket League is often fun. And it's, never the same game twice. Other games that I've been playing lately, New World and, some other games, like, there's no real way to lose. You know what I mean? Like, there's no frustration or, unwanted repetition. And so now when I play a game like this, which, once upon a time, this kind of repetition and frustration was just part of the game. I've reached a point where I'm like, I don't have time for this. I'm not doing it. So my willingness to keep up with a game like this is much shorter than it would have been 10 years ago.
I think the other problem is there's so much.
Wait a minute.
choice.
I thought maybe Chinny would talk about it since he played this game
Yeah.
and you didn't. My bad. Go ahead, Stu.
Go on,
Or
Stu.
Chinny.
I was just going to say, I think the problem is these days there's so much choice to play. You've got to stand out somehow, haven't you?
Yeah,
and-
like
and
Elden
right,
Ring.
and-
Like Elden Ring.
You've got to have that appeal.
Yeah, like
Well,
Elden
no,
Ring.
right.
Yeah, did I mention
Games
Elden Ring, by the way?
Yeah.
Games like Metroid existed because they had to. Like, that was
Yeah.
part of the process of evolution of gaming. And I think if they could have made a 3D, action game in the days of Metroid, they probably would have. They just didn't have the ability to do that back then. Now, depending on the studio, like this is probably a smaller studio and, it's much easier for them to do a game like this. But, the audience for this kind of game, I think, is much smaller than it used to be. So, anyway, Chinny, what do you think?
I thought it
Ghost
was
Song?
okay. My issue with it is similar to what you were saying. Really, is like Super Metroid. I played it back in the day. It was all right. Do you know what I mean? It was all right, and I know people loved it, but like we've made better games like this since then, and I would argue that we haven't made a platformer better than Super Mario World, or there aren't many, right, since Super Mario World came out. So Super Mario World is a game that came out roughly about the same time. It's regarded as one of the best games ever made, and to this day is still probably one of the best platformers, 2D platformers ever made.
Right.
Super Metroid games, or Metroidvania games as we call them. There was this and Castlevania, and since then we've had lots of Metroidvania games, and I would argue some of those are probably better than Super Metroid itself, like Shadow Complex, for example, or
Oh, what a game!
what's that Wisp? The Wisp with the Willow and the Wisp and the
Oh yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest.
Ori and the Blind Forest. So that those types of games. There's other ones as well that escapes me, but there are games like Super Metroid that are arguably, well, objectively better. They're just better because they play better. They're more intuitive. They have more gameplay. They
There's
last
definitely
longer.
a nostalgia factor about why Super Metroid has this.
Like, it's like saying, like, the first Zelda is the best Zelda. It's not.
Right.
It's not the best Zelda. It's a good Zelda, but it doesn't hold
But
up.
it blew you away when you were a kid.
When you
so
played
cling
it,
to
yeah.
in a way
And Link to the Past is the Super Nintendo Zelda, and people say that no one really says that's the best Zelda ever made, right?
Right.
But it is a good Zelda because for the time, but now I would argue people probably wouldn't even say that's the best 2D Zelda because we've had better 2D Zelda games. So it's just at the time these games are held a very, very high regard. So people have made this game going, let's make a Metroidvania game. Basically, let's just copy Super Metroid, and it's going to be a hit. Where I think the problem is that we've moved on a little, and actually, we've already clocked it. Do you know what I mean? We've already done that. We've already made those types of games and made them better. So
right, and I get the
out.
question then becomes for this game, like what is it doing that hasn't been done, or what are you doing that expresses something important about yourself? Because I'm not the type of person who believes that every game or every work of art needs to do something new necessarily, as long as you're expressing something powerful about yourself. And that's hard to do in a video game, and you can't tell just from an hour of playing it whether that's happening in a game like this. I don't think it's doing anything new. I felt like the atmosphere was very interesting. I was intrigued by the atmosphere. It's one of those situations where it's like you're on this planet, there's people, dead corpses presumably, in these like electrified tendrils, and you come upon them and the person goes like, what happened to you? You want to know answers to those sorts of things. You're probably not going to get very many of them in a game like this, but I was curious at least. But the gameplay just felt not clunky exactly, but like I said, kind of hard in a way that I wasn't interested in. So I was like,
Yeah, it just wasn't really offering anything that was grabbing me, to be honest. I sort of knew pretty immediately that I wouldn't be playing the game. I think it's just every game competes with everyone else, and unfortunately, you can't compare this game to God of War Ragnarok, but you can because that's what else it's got to compete with.
Right, but the other thing is that the watching the playthrough here you got on the screen. At one point, that area down below where you power up and save and stuff, there's a part on the ground you had to shoot out. I had no idea there was something to shoot out there. Yeah. So the spots you're supposed to shoot, I mean, obviously when the tunnel is blocked and there's bumpy rock, you can tell that, okay, I shoot the bumpy rock. But when it's down below, I wasn't looking at my feet to see where there's bumpy rock to shoot out.
So that might be a spill out of like back in the day. In those Metroid games, you figure things out because you've just got so much time. It was like, like there wasn't as many games as there are now. You're playing a game these days, and everything's fighting for your attention, and everything's at your fingertips. So I just think Super Metroid is a game of its time. It's succeeded because of when it was released, and it was one of the first of its kind. And I just don't think it really competes with everything else at the moment. So it's a good game. It's a nice looking game, but it's not really something that I have much desire to play. And I don't I don't hold Super Metroid in like the same light as like Super Mario and Street Fighter and stuff like that. I think it's a good game, but it's not really something I jizz about.
So thumbs down on Ghost Song. Check it out if you like Metroidvania.
I think it's good though. It's good. Like somebody could play this and be like, oh, like I'm really in the mood for a Metroidvania. I just want it to do that thing simple. And I'm like, someone could just hit somebody sweet. Do you know what I mean? It could just hit them right. I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what I need. So there's it's not bad. It's just not for me. I never rated Super Metroid that much.
Yep.
Puh. Go Song.
All right. Stu doesn't have anything else. Chinny, what do you got?
I don't have anything else. I'm done.
I've been playing more God of War.
God of War.
I haven't played much. So for people that have played it, I will say words. I won't without massively spoiling the game. I am in Helheim
All right, okay.
for the second time, chasing a very large beast. So
Right.
I think anybody who's got there will go, yeah, I know where it is. So that's where I am. I suppose what I'll say, which I haven't said so far, is like I quite like the simplicity of the story in the first one, in the 2018 God of War, which is basically your mom's dead, or your wife's dead, depending on your point of view. Kratos' wife's dead. Spread her ashes on the mountain. Like that's pretty much the drive for the whole game. Whereas
same drive, by the way, as Far Cry 4. So
yeah, and there's an incredible amount of fiction out there where people's moms dies. You know, like just, for some reason,
Right.
moms dying is just like so lit right now. You know, Bambi
Wow.
did it, and all that sort of stuff. So, so yeah, I like the first game is like Kratos' wife's dead. Spread her ashes. That was her wish. So
right.
so almost everything that you're going through is arbitrary. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's not even.
Right.
There's no real reason for them to do it other than like it's like a good thing to do. Like,
Is there not some overarching like?
I
thing
mean,
in this
no,
game?
no. This
Yeah.
is the first. This is the 2018 game. There's like the drive to go to where they're going is to spread the ashes
Uh-huh.
of Kratos' wife. That's it.
Oh, I got you. I'm
That's
sorry.
their
I thought that was-
motivation, right?
Yeah, but
Okay,
they
gotcha,
take that
gotcha.
shit serious.
Yeah,
man,
yeah, because
just
it's
saying.
all Greek and Norse, isn't it, and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
Well, once
That
upon a
shit's
time, it
serious
was an
shit.
important thing, and people didn't always have access to the places that they needed to spread the ashes.
So
Obviously, so they have to get there.
yeah, so you know that was quite interesting, I suppose, because almost everything they're doing out of like pure just love for his wife or Atreus' mother, right? So, this game, the drive is a little bit more muddied. Do you know what I mean? Like who's driving what? So basically, Kratos' motivation at the start of the game is and throughout where I am now is to protect his son. Like that's his motivation. And the way he's done that since the first game is that he hides. He's just hidden. He's just like, no, you know, we're not going to get any trouble. We're not going to start anything. We're just going to keep out of sight, keep out the way. Obviously, him being a young boy, that's very difficult because he wants to explore his he's got like certain powers that he's trying to like figure out and all that sort of stuff. It's a metaphor for puberty. So you know, he's trying to like his body's changing. Yes, so he's being a teenager basically and wandering off and doing stuff. And then you've got this mix of these other characters that come into the game. So then the drive becomes what was it? Yeah, it's kind of like, without going into details, it's like whatever you do, don't do this thing. And everybody knows not to do it, but they end up doing it anyway. Because you try not to do it, therefore you end up doing it. That's kind of like
Don't think of a pink elephant.
Yeah, that don't think of a pink elephant is basically this game. It's like, don't do that. And then they go, look, I'm not doing that. But whoops,
Right.
I've just done it.
Oops.
Yeah. And then they go, Kratos says like, well, I won't do this, but if I have to, if that happens, then I'm going to have to do that. Right. And that's kind of like the game's message is like, when your fate is written in stone and in the gods, is there a way of escaping it? Is there a way of rewriting it? And and they acknowledge some of the older games. So in one of the older games, in the older PlayStation 2 games, Kratos, I think he travels back in time and rewrites his own
I vaguely
story
remember something like that.
And he talks about it. He says like, you know, well, like I wouldn't recommend traveling through time because like I've done it sort of thing. And he says it's you know, it didn't work out exactly how he wanted it. And so they go into all the old games. They talk about how, you know, Kratos has a wife and kids before all this, and he accidentally. This is the plot of like the first game in 2004, by the way. And like you know, he ended up accidentally murdering his wife and kids and stuff. And the white dust, the powder that he wears on his body is the ashes of his dead wife and children.
Nice.
Lovely stuff. So he has to literally wear his like monstrosity of sins that
Yeah.
but they do a little bit more to Kratos that they haven't done. Like in the 2018 game, like Kratos basically grunted his way through it. He's boy and all this sort of stuff. There are a little bit more moments of Kratos trying to be a dad, which I think doesn't, and it's not too like, oh, I'm a shit dad or whatever. It's a little bit more subtle. It's very well done, very well acted, and I really like it. There are some parts and some characters that I don't really like. The best character in the game, I think, is Odin. Odin is played usually by like a big burly king guy with a big beard, and he's like, I am Odin. In this, he's kind of like a sneaky lawyer. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of like, like a skinny, scrawny, and he's like a charming old man. You know what I mean? Because everybody's fearing him. Everybody's like, you can't trust Odin. You can't trust him.
Yeah.
And then you go to him, and he's actually like really personable, really nice, really caring. And he seems like quite a nice guy, but apparently, like what everybody says about him is like, but he never so far has slipped up. He's just like, like he's got somebody in his like sort of like not his quarters, but in his home, and he's like, you're not a prisoner here. You can leave any time. You don't have to. You can do what you want, but you can help me if you want. So Odin is a great character in this game, and I think they've made some choices that are just really different to what you perceive these characters to be like. So the way you think of Thor, obviously because of like the Marvel movies, he's very different to that. In this game, the way you think of Odin, the way you think of, I suppose, like a god of war and all this sort of stuff, or giants and things like that. Like they show you things that you probably like, a new take on gods and things that you haven't seen before. So I do like it. I think it's very, very good. It's just a lot more. I suppose the reason why people may like this one more than the first one is that there's a lot more going on. There's more characters, more interactions. There's more gameplay, unlockables. There's more fighting styles. There's just more
systems.
There's more of it, and it keeps going out. It's like a tree that keeps branching out and branching out and branching out. And then you think you've met all the characters, and there's another character that you haven't met, and then there's a new thing and a new take on this and a new this, and then there's a beast that goes through dimensions, and it's like, whoa, this is crazy. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But I think I still prefer the first one because it's simple. The first one's simple. There's something, like Portal 1 to Portal 2. Like Portal 1's like so simple, isn't it? You're just trapped in this test and you've got to get out. Whereas Portal 2 is a little bit more to it. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. God of War Ragnarok. I'm probably about, I don't know, I would say I'm about 20 hours in, 18 hours in, maybe something like that. Around those times. But it's very good. You should get on it, Stu.
Just play it.
I know. I've still got to finish a bloody. Today I thought, I might play a bit of a Plague Tale. Do you know what I mean? Because I need to finish that as well. And then I was like, I'll play Elden Ring.
Yeah.
You know how it is. You know how it is.
Once
Once
you
you're
by the
in.
balls.
You know what? Do you know what Elden Ring does really, really well? No, it does. It's true.
What's that?
This is true.
This is
right?
true, Chinny. Come on, it's true.
You get to a site of grace, you rest, right? And you level up or whatever from everything you've killed up to that point, and then you sort of come out and you think, I'll just do one more. I'll just get to the next one.
Yeah.
And then the next one might be another fucking 20 or 30 minutes away. But you do it anyway, and then you get to that one, and like, right, I'm going to stop playing now. And then you're like, I wonder how far the next one is. I wonder what will be in between there and here. You know what I mean?
Behind Dawn of 3.
I know. And it is that it's a real, I don't know what the word for it is, but it proper gets you because you're sort of like, ooh, if I get to the next one, that's a bit further into the game, and now I can come back and be a bit nearer the, the next boss or whatever.
It's how they get you.
It's a fucking clever little gameplay loop. The fight bonfires aren't they in Dark Souls, but in this it's Sights of Grey, so it's the same thing, but just a different name. But it really does make you think, just that a little bit further, and get a little bit further, and you're constantly doing that all the
time.
No, I'm
just thinking about playing that game.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. All right. Anything else about God of War, Chinny?
No.
Okay, well, I got one more game. Actually, I got two more games. New World, nothing really new to report. Still having fun with it. Still doing missions. Still killing monsters and XPing and chopping down trees and all sorts of stuff in that. For some reason, I was looking through my older games and I was like, Factorio. I haven't played that in a minute.
Ooh.
So I started playing that again. Talk about games that are like just one more. Like
Elden Ring does that, by the way.
Yeah, I hear
it
Elden
does.
Ring
Yeah,
does
it
that
does.
very well. Yeah.
Does it?
Factorio, there's just one more thing to tweak, and then it's like one more thing, and an hour goes by, and
Yeah.
you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But I was playing it and thinking, you know what? First of all, for those who don't know, Factorio came from a mod in Minecraft. And so I was like, I've never played that mod in Minecraft. I wonder if it's easy to install. And I went looking, and people were like, there's this, it's called like Machine Oreo or something like that. It's like Factorio, but and so they made a new mod pack based on Factorio for Minecraft, which is now full circle, right? Going right back to it.
Yeah.
But then I realized, wait a minute, it's the Steam sale. There's a game called Satisfactory, which is basically a 3D first-person shooter style Factorio game.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked it up, and it was like $15, and I'm like, well, shit, let's do this. Steam sale, ka-ching, bought it,
Bam.
and this game is wicked. It's got overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam for good reason. It's very well made. It's funny. I actually started playing New World during the winter convergence. So there's these presents everywhere. I don't know if I told you that I was saving up for the gift emote, which I have gotten. So now very few people in the game have the ability to like hold out a gift when you see someone else. I can like hold out a gift and then they can't take it, but my player will be like, and then when they'll throw it over their shoulder.
It's good to know that it's got
anyway.
a value then.
It's very
Yeah,
important
yeah,
that
totally.
I spent hours grinding these little presents in order to
Yeah,
get
just
that.
in-
Now I'm hoping
bizarre.
before the winter convergence ends, which is going to be any day now, maybe I can get the juggling emote, which is only available on the winter convergence, because lots of people are going to care about that. Anyway, the reason I mention that is because I also started playing Satisfactory during a holiday event. Apparently, every year they put Christmas stuff into the game, or at least they did this year. So there's these enormous gifts everywhere you look. Every time I load the game up, they drop like 5 of them. And like they're often like far away. So I would have to like climb the mountain in order to get that gift. What do you get when you open a gift? Well, you get little coupons. What do you use the coupons for? Well, there's this little store you can build eventually, which I just built. So I
Wow.
haven't really looked at it, but you can get little unlockable stuff with that. Anyway, yeah, there's a nice intro. You're basically launched into this new planet, and you're part of the Fixit Corporation, F-I-C-S, S-I-T. So it's pretty clever. Fix it, get it, fix it.
I get it.
Yeah, it's very clever. You don't really have a weapon except this thing called the Xeno Zapper, which is basically just a little club that you whack monsters with. It's not primarily combat based. The reason you kill monsters is to get their flesh in order to research it, which you can then use to build other things. So apparently there's these like leg implants or something you can get to move faster, which I would really like, because after you start playing this for a short period of time, you've got a pretty sprawling area that you've built machines in,
Yeah.
and moving around is the part that, it gets hectic. Yeah, but it's really well done. It's a lot of fun. Everything is very smooth. It's still in early access, but as you can see, it's really polished. So I'm really enjoying this game. It's very satisfying. It is kind of hard to keep track of things. So in a way that's a little different from Factorio, which you have, basically bird's eye view on everything, right? It's top down. This game is obviously 3D. And so therefore, you can climb a tower and get more of a bird's eye view of it. But by and large, it's, here's the other thing about these games. And this is true about Factorio as well. When you start playing them, you basically, I don't know. At least I don't plan them out very well. I just, in this game, you have to start out, you find the iron, right? And then you find the copper.
Yeah.
and you put mining machines on those resources, right? And then you have conveyor belts that go, from the iron into something that smelts it, right? You have a smelter, and so you put the conveyor belt, and so before, and then you have the iron ingots being used to make iron plates and iron rods, and so you'll have two, creative, I don't remember what they're called, buildings that create those things, right? Refiners or whatever it is. You need the iron plates over here for this thing that you're making later on. You need the iron rods over there, but then there's this other thing that also uses iron rods. So for a while, you're just running things back and forth to the different machines, but eventually you want to automate it. So you have the conveyor belts going everywhere. And then it's like, at a certain point, you need to step back and go, okay, I need to start over in order.
Oh, no.
And you have to arrange them a certain way at the start of the game, because you're using, in this game, you have to like gather leaves and sticks in order to feed your biomass burners. But eventually I've just gotten to the point where you can find coal. So I have to basically recreate my power system around this coal generator as opposed to the biomass burners. But I'm sick of running around gathering sticks and leaves to burn. So I'd rather get the coal going, because that can be pretty self-sufficient. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, that requires rearranging where the buildings are, and you have to get water into the coal generating plant. And so water's nowhere near where the coal is. So you basically have this conveyor belt going across the map with your coal pieces. And then you have to have a pipeline going across the map to get the water into the coal plant. But it's really well done. It's really smooth. It's interesting when you set up a conveyor belt, it's very intuitive, and it'll go anywhere. There, at one point, it did tell me it's too steep. You can't do it like that. But it didn't take much work to figure out an alternate route for it to go. When you set it up, the conveyor belt, it will put blue if it goes smoothly. It'll go right in, and then you just click on, yeah, okay, do it. It'll do red if it's impossible to move or there's something in the way or whatever. And then it'll do yellow if it'll let you know, okay, this will work, but visually it's going to be bizarre because you're clipping through something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it gives you.
So it's not going to be aesthetically pleasing. It'll let you know.
Right. So, for example, my first copper resource was way up on this cliff, and it was easy for me to get up there. But the conveyor belt, I didn't want to run it down the little ledge that I had climbed up, so I just sent it down over the cliff. And it's ridiculous because the copper ore is coming through the rock. And I was like, okay, that looks ridiculous, but I don't really care.
It works.
It works, exactly. But later on, I was like, I will change that for the sake of aesthetics. And the best thing about that is, in this game, I think it's true in Factorio as well, when you remove something, you get 100% of the resources that were used to build it. So it's very easy in terms of resources, to move stuff around.
Yeah, it doesn't penalize you for changing your layout.
Correct.
That's
and
good.
I
like
really
that.
appreciate that. Yeah. The graphics are really solid. It's interesting to look at. It's, there's this kind of creepy AI voice that works with you at the start of the game. And apparently at some point I had this, I was trying to get the coal system set up, and the voice came on and said, "You are strongly encouraged to investigate this life form." And I was like, who is that? And what? I was listening to your music stream, Stu, and I thought maybe that was something you had put in.
Yeah,
I was like, that sounds like a lot like the voice in Satisfactory. And then I realized, no, it isn't. And I looked around, I couldn't find anything. So I did a Google search, and apparently that's something that's in the beta version, or it's something that there's nothing to really do with it. Right. They've put it in there in order to start freaking you out and getting you to pay attention, but it's no real payoff with it. It's just there's certain things that show up and then go away quickly.
So
apparently,
in this 3D Factorio type game,
yes,
part of the appeal for me about Factorio is that, like, because it's 2D and top down, it's so easy to sort of get a grasp of your build. Is that difficult in this?
Here's the thing. So they scratch different itches, and I'm glad you asked that, because I was building to this discussion about the advantages of both. Because I thought when I started playing this, my thought was, okay, I'm not ever going to want to play Factorio again, because this is going to do, the same thing, but in 3D, which is more fun, so whatever. But it doesn't. And the reason for that is because, first of all, at least for me, when you're building the stuff, you have a sense of what's where and how it works together. That said, you're right that if you have like 10 different manufacturing machines, well, let me put it this way. In Factorio, when you have a manufacturing machine, you can tap the Alt button and it will activate what's called Alt mode, which puts a little icon of whatever your manufacturing machine is making over the machine, right? So it's very easy at a glance to tell what's being made where.
Yeah.
In this game, the things aren't as distinct from each other. So you have steel plates, you have reinforced steel plates, you have like there's a number. The steel ingots look a lot like the steel plates, so it's harder to tell at a glance which one is which. So that wouldn't work as well if you had alt mode like that. And yeah, like you said, because you're not, able to see it from a distance. Although, like I said, you could build a tower and go up and get more of a bird's eye view. So they have kind of thought of that, but it is harder to do that. The other thing to think about here is that you can change the color of the buildings, which seems silly, but it actually becomes very useful. So, for instance,
You can color
when I
code
started
them.
making,
Color
you can color
coded.
code them exactly. So when I started making, I had a machine that was used to make the biomass. You can, when you start, eventually when you research stuff, you get leaves and sticks, but then you can create a machine. You can tell one of the machines to compress it. And whereas it needed 10 batches of leaves every minute to keep the biomass going, you can compress those 10 into one, and that'll last for 30 minutes. You have one biomass chunk, and then you can burn that for 30 minutes. So it's an interesting step up. So when I did that, I had, okay, this manufacturing device, I need to keep it clear and not use it for anything else. So I painted it pink. And so that allowed me to think, yeah, okay, the pink thing is, off limits. I can use these other manufacturers for steel rods and making screws and whatever it is. But yeah, it's interesting how different it plays in that sense. This game is also more based on exploration.
It just, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm looking at this and it just looks so fucking complicated.
Oh yeah, it gets very complicated very
I'm just
quickly.
looking and
Absolutely.
thinking, like, I don't know where the enjoyment is. I know you like it, I get that. But for me, I'd be like, oh my God, I can't be bothered. I just
Yeah,
want
that's
to
fine.
hit stuff with a big sword. That's way more
That's
fun.
fine. Sure.
I don't know. I
And
just don't
maybe
get.
there's
I mean,
a cheat you could put into this game to make it less
maybe there
complicated, 'cause
is.
then you
Maybe.
could
I mean,
have fun with
Chinny,
it, 'cause not,
do you look at this and think this could be fun? I don't know.
No,
You're into-
not this. Like
Go-
Factorio might get me one day. Might.
There's a free demo for Factorio. I would love to see y'all play it and
I
see what
know.
you think, because
Yeah.
I didn't think I would like it either when I first started it, but it got its hooks in me, and maybe
Yeah, but you're
as unlikely
intelligent
as it
and stuff.
seems. Well, I don't think I'm not very intelligent when it comes to mechanical engineering the way my dad was. But anyway, I mean, again, yes, I recognize 100% this is not going to be for everybody. But there's a lot of the UI is very user friendly, for instance. So when you first, and it has a really helpful process at the beginning of the game. You drop in on this pod, and then the first thing it does is say, okay, deconstruct that pod. So you get the process of removing something. You pull out this tool, you just wave it at the thing, and it deconstructs it, and you get the materials. And then they're like, okay, you can use that for your starter base now. And it's like, okay, cool. So you start off being shown how to deconstruct something and then make something. And then the rest of it is just, exploring stuff. And it all becomes a matter of, and even the space elevator, it's just a matter of take stuff out of the ground, combine it with other things, and process it, and then combine the things that it processes into. And it's just one on top of another, on top of another. And then, you get different versions of that. And it is complicated. I'm not going to lie about that. But there's a satisfaction that comes with it. The name of the game, by the way, is very clever because it is satisfactory, and it is a factory type game. So
I see what they did there.
Last two things I'll say about it. The UI has a really nice pin recipe system. So at most games, I guess not Minecraft, but there are other, a lot of games have some way of pinning whatever you're working on. Even Dinkum has this. So you need, okay, I know that for whatever I'm making, I'm going to need 100 sticks and, 10 bricks and 20 cogs or whatever it is. But in this game, when you get the 10 bricks, it checks it off. Like it has a little, you've got it done now, which is really nice because a lot of times you have to keep checking your inventory to see this or that. The only thing that would be even better would be if you have a recipe, you could tell the game, don't let me use those bricks for anything else.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have the bricks you need for this thing you're working on later, and you're still waiting for the copper wire to get manufactured or whatever. And meanwhile, here comes something. Oh, I'll just build a replacement for my chainsaw or something. And you use the bricks, and you're like,
use
crap,
the
now I need more
bricks.
bricks.
Use
Yeah.
the bricks.
So you got to be careful.
I'm very disappointed, Duke. I've just seen on screen that he chopped a tree down and it just disappeared. It didn't fall over or anything.
I know. God, that's the reason I gave it a thumbs down in my review.
I'm not surprised, man. It's not realistic at all.
No, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Okay, terrible.
The other thing I really like is in the game. So let's say you have a manufacturing thing that will turn copper wire into cable, which you need for the power circuits. Your inventory is here. Above the inventory, it takes the things that are most likely used in that machine, and it says, hey, here's those things in a bigger icon view, which is really nice, because then you don't have to go hunting. Which one's the copper wire? The way you do in Factorio.
Can you not just go to the local DIY store to get some copper wire? That's what I'm thinking.
That would make colonizing an alien planet so much easier.
Exactly. Why on earth do you need to look for resources? You can just go and buy some.
Just go buy some.
Buy some, honestly. I don't know why you're bothering. Got the cash, got the readies. Buy some wire.
Satisfactory is awesome. If you like Factorio, you should totally check it out. But it does scratch different itches. So I think, I went back to Factorio today after having played this for a day straight. And I'm bouncing between them now because they're both doing different things for me. And I'm really enjoying both of them. So, yay.
So if I was to try one of these games, it'd be Factorio, I think, rather than this one.
Sure.
Fair enough. Right. Let's do no news, but let's do games coming out next year and just have a quick look through the sort of what's coming up.
Here's what's coming up
Are we
going
to buy any of these?
I don't have a jingle for this, so it's just like...
because let's be honest, not as much for you, Duke, but Chinny and I just fucking play shit on Game Pass. Yep. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, what's the point? What's the point of buying a game?
It's got to earn money. It's got
to be something special.
And to be fair, I'm trying to think what I bought this year apart from God of War.
Did you buy Elden Ring?
Yes, I bought Elden Ring as well. I think they're the only two games I've actually bought all year.
Because you don't like to support indie
developers. That's an absolute lie.
Indie developers.
I've bought loads of VR games.
Oh well, he's putting money where it needs to be.
Bought VR games.
Tells the market, hey, there's people
like
here
console
who will give you money
or
if you make
PC
video
games. The vast majority of stuff I've played on Game Pass. And
fuck out of here.
Oh, I bought Monkey Island as well, didn't I?
Oh, thank God.
Bought Monkey Island.
You bought a lot. You bought a lot.
Oh,
of
and I
VR
bought
games.
no. Other than that, I think those are the only three games. And I could be wrong because there may be other stuff, but that I can think off the top of my head.
You're full of shit, yeah.
I'm full of shit. But this year, are we going to buy anything this coming year? We're now in 2023.
Who knows?
And the first of those potential purchases is on the 27th of January, which is Dead Space Remake.
Oh, dude, Dead Space. Speaking of games that are grim.
Do you know, I can't quite believe that Dead Space 3 was 2013. That's 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked it. I know that other people shit on it and said, it's fucking just an action game now. It's not even scary.
I didn't finish it. I've started it. I didn't finish it.
I quite liked it still. I quite liked it.
Did you finish it, Jenny? S2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Silence.
So 27th of January, that is coming out. Chinny, are you going to buy it?
At the moment, no. No.
I don't think I am. And I think the reason is...
It'll come
I think
on
the
Game
original
Pass.
Dead Space... Well, it'll come on Game Pass possibly, or it'll come down in price. But the original Dead Space was good.
Yeah, it'll come on. I'll just wait for it to come on Game Pass.
I don't feel like this needed a remake as much as, say, Resident Evil 2, and we've talked about this before.
I disagree with that, because I think it'll come out and everybody goes, oh my god, it looks so
maybe.
good. But yeah, I mean,
maybe
the old one still looks good,
but
but like when you put modern visuals on it, I think it'll look way better. But I think this will get positive reviews.
Yeah.
I think people will like it, but
there's no reason not to, because the first game was amazing, and any improvements on that's still going to be good, isn't it?
Well, as we know from the GTA remakes, that you can fuck up a remake, so it is possible. But
you can if you're lazy.
You're lazy. You're money grabbing.
If you're lazy,
bastards.
The next big game coming out next year is on Feb the 10th, my wife's birthday.
Ooh.
Hogwarts Legacy, or is it? Because let's be honest, this game has been delayed multiple times already.
Nope.
I don't know. What do you think? Is it coming at all?
Duke's going to boycott it because it's by
Yeah, I ain't giving money to
you know, some people might not agree with your opinions, Duke. I don't know.
Yeah. And if I made a video game and they wanted to let me
Is-
know why they weren't going to give me
Is
money for
that
my video
fair
game,
to the makers of this if they only use that as a source material? Then you know, it doesn't mean to say they agree with what she's
is there
saying.
some of my money going to a turf? Then I'm not going to
I
buy
guess
the
it
game.
would be. Yeah, I guess it would be from a
You want
licensing
to do
point of
that?
view, I
Go
suppose.
for it. Hey, I mean, look, if I were into Kanye's music, it's not just him who would benefit from that music. And yes, I would be punishing them by not giving Kanye any of my money, but I don't want to give Kanye
True.
any of my money. So
What about you, Chinny? Are you that bothered?
I'm not.
I mean, none of us were ever really crazy about Harry Potter.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not.
I
into
love Harry Potter.
I'm not into
I'm a
Harry
massive
Potter.
Harry Potter fan.
Oh, well, then that's you. Go for it.
Look, we talked about me going to Dobby's grave
Yeah.
We
last
talk
year.
about a lot of things.
When you
I
say
don't always-
Dobby, I just think of the character out of Peep Show. So
Dobby,
we're on-
oh, Dobby.
so there's a character in Peep Show
I'm
called
excited
Dobby,
for this in a way, but I am also concerned that it's going to be shit.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
I
think
want
it'll
it
be
to be
good.
good.
It looks pretty good.
Honestly, good, but I'm worried it might be a bit
I've
shit.
just got no
Harley
investment
Dan
in
says,
it.
"I wonder. I'll just pirate the Switch version."
Yeah, do that.
There you go. Do that. Then she gets no money. But that's the 10th of Feb. If you're interested, maybe. Feb the 21st, right? Like a Dragon was so well received, or the Yakuza Like a Dragon. You know, everyone was like the joke game because it was an April Fool's to begin with, and then they went, maybe people will actually like that game and made it, and everyone fucking loved it. He's getting a sequel on the 21st Feb called Like a Dragon Ishin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Apparently this came out in 2014, but only in Japan.
Dude. what the hell?
But since obviously the Yakuza Like a Dragon did so well, they went, nah, let's release it later on, remake it. I'm guessing it's an updated version of that.
I don't.
So
know
it could be
anything about-
cool.
Anything about Like a Dragon or Yakuza? So.
Oh, Yakuza, I love Yakuza.
No.
I was never a fan. I did play the because it's all turn-based combat, so it's gone from being full-on action to turn-based.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know. I played a
that
bit of it.
Kiwami,
It was all right.
the Zero one, and I was like,
Yeah.
I am not into this at all.
You're
so,
not into it.
no.
Okay, March the 17th, Star Wars. It's a whole
Wars,
new
Gamshi.
franchise. Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, that's the
I still
the
haven't
first.
Finished
Yeah,
following.
that's the first game that I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to try that. Yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. I really love the first one.
Love
So
the first one. Thought it was great.
so good, so good. Although I'll be honest, it's dropped to like a rocking price, and you can pick it up in the Steam sale for about £2 or something.
That's the
ridiculous.
problem, isn't it? Yeah, like these things drop. Yeah.
So
Do you
anyway,
want to be
hopefully
part
this...
of the conversation, or do you just want to wait? That's the problem.
That is the problem. But let's hope this is as great as the first game, and yeah, this could be the first time we both buy a game this year, I guess.
Maybe.
March the 24th, Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yeah.
You see,
that's one I would want to play.
I've just played Resident Evil 4 in VR. I don't feel like I've got any need to play it again so soon.
No. That's why I wasn't interested in playing that one, because I knew this was coming. So I'd be up for this one. Yeah, I love Resident Evil
good,
2
by the way.
remake. I think the 2 remake is one of my favorite games of the last 5 years. So yeah, I'm definitely up for this.
Oh,
one.
don't get me wrong. I mean, it's such a good game, even like the VR version, which is updated, but it's still more or less the original game.
No,
but
but
in
I
VR.
want the remake one though. The pretty.
I
one.
know
want
you
that
do.
one.
I just don't think I could play it on a flat screen after playing it in it.
Don't be silly. Don't be.
So I
silly.
don't think I will. I don't think I'm going to bother. This has been in the making for a fucking long time. Dead Island 2, April the 28th.
I don't really know much about
Never
it.
really played the first
Everyone
one.
was going, it's going to. I mean, I think it was first revealed.
2013.
I mean, we're talking,
something
yeah,
like
we're going to
that.
say donkeys years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Donkeys years ago. So who
I
knows?
might be more interested if we see some stuff on it, but as far as I know, like, there's
No,
not
I
a lot.
haven't heard anything. Here we go. This is the
There we
biggie.
go.
Biggie
Hey.
for
Ooh,
2023. Yuki's going to lose his shit.
Uh-oh.
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, May the 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm losing my shit. Look.
You're going to lose your fucking shit. Breath of the Wild, I absolutely love.
Take this. Oh no.
Yeah, whatever.
Still haven't finished it. Still haven't finished it.
I finished that. I finished it. It's something that I actually finished.
No.
So fucking good. And this will probably be equally as good. I'm going to say it'll
I'm
probably
sure
be,
it will.
unlike Bayonetta, this will be what makes me pick up my Switch again, maybe.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hey.
Saying.
I'm
So the
slightly
next-
annoyed that to play it, I have to play a Switch. That
That is true. That's true. This will never come down in price, by the way.
No.
Just
So
saying.
it doesn't matter. You might as
Oh,
well just
that
get it day
attitude.
one. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because it
Yeah,
won't
really.
make any. It's never going to be on sale.
No.
That's
Well,
why I
maybe
sold
in
my
about
Switch.
12 years. About 12
Yeah.
years after it's released. This I don't know a lot about. I don't know even though whether I'm bothered. Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, May the 26th.
I am. It's the people that made Dark Knight, you know.
All right, okay.
Not Dark Knight.
Gotham Knight?
Arkham Knight.
Gotham.
Arkham
Arkham Knight, right?
Asylum.
Arkham Knight.
Arkham
Right.
Knight. Asylum. Gotham.
Arkham
the-
Gotham
The
Asylum.
good
Knight.
Batman games.
Rocksteady.
Right.
Yeah.
Rocksteady.
So those games, I mean, the Arkham Knight, the man of the night, the last one. That
Is
was
that
one of
the Arkham Knight, by the way?
that was one of my favorite games of that year that it came out, which I think was 2017. I loved that
Right.
game so much. Like when you talk about games that got you by the balls, Stu, I was dreaming about that game. Like I loved it
That's
so
the
much.
trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, so Batman Arkham Knight. A lot of people didn't like it because of the Batmobile, but I loved all that stuff. So yeah, I loved it. So yeah, they've got my attention purely because they haven't made a bad game, like with Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. So yeah, I'm invested.
Maybe. June the 6th, Diablo 4.
No, I've no interest in Diablo.
Anyone?
You
No
know,
one?
I played
No?
Diablo 3. I like Diablo 3, but I'm not convinced that this is going to be anything more than just more Diablo. Like, at this point, the story's never been very good. The gameplay is such that you can find it in 100 other places now. And so, therefore, what are they doing differently? And I'm not convinced that the answer is going to be anything. I haven't really looked into it, so I don't really know what they might be having on offer. But I'm not holding my breath. I'm not planning on getting this day one.
The next one is Redfall, which
Is
they're
Is this
not
based on the mouse books?
No, I don't know. I have no idea. So basically, it's a
No.
bit like Left 4 Dead or Borderlands, and there's this like co-op vampire thing.
It might be good, but
Okay.
I've got no interest in this at the moment. No.
So don't know. It seems a bit generic-y.
Yeah.
Who knows? This may or may not coming out in 2023. Starfield.
I think it'll come
Oh
out. I
yeah,
think it'll
now
come
we're
out.
cooking.
Yeah, I think this will come out this year.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one, isn't it? This is going to be an event. This game, so I think
We hope.
Yeah, I feel like this needs to be played. Even if there's an inkling of like this is.
Well, it's on
good.
Game Pass anyway, isn't it? So
Yeah, so
we'll all be. Well, if Duke still has Game Pass at that point, we'll all be playing this day one.
yeah, I think I'll be playing this. Yeah,
We won't even have to buy it. We don't even need to buy it.
it's what a world we live in.
What a world we live in. And then this one, Chidi will probably be getting, I'm guessing, Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
Again, there's no actual date for that. It's just next door.
That one, it's either going to be November or like
Yeah.
like delayed. It's got delayed written all over it. That one, but
You
I
never
think
know, though.
Yeah, it'll be November if it comes out this year.
Yeah.
So it's a way away. But I absolutely love
You fucking love Spider-Man.
the Spider-Man games. So yeah, I would play them again. I adore
Even
them.
I think I played. I mean, I'm not. I finished Spider-Man. I
Yeah.
wasn't as sort of mad about it as you were, but I would definitely play this because Spider-Man was a great game.
It's just great. It's absolutely
It's
phenomenal.
a great game. And the final one, actually, there's a couple more, not many. Alan Wake 2, definitely. Honestly, I cannot wait.
I
for a sequel to Alan
predict a
Wake.
flop on this one.
No, it's going to be fucking brilliant.
I think this is going to be an absolute flop.
No, it
Uh,
isn't.
So
It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait.
I'm curious, put it that way, but yeah, I'm got no hope for it being good. No hope.
And then we've got Assassin's Creed Mirage. I didn't even know there was a working title for the next Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
game.
it got leaked. I think this
Yeah.
this game. I've retired from Assassin's Creed. I've
Yeah,
played
I'm just
almost
not
every
interested
Assassin's Creed
anymore.
game ever, but Odyssey broke me. I just played Odyssey and I was like, man, this is tough. And then I heard Valhalla was even bigger, And I was like, I don't know if I can play.
Is
these
it
games.
because they're too big? Like there's too much.
There's just
required of them?
yeah, they're just massive, and they're just
Well, they went from being big-ish, and being very story focused,
Yeah.
to almost losing that sort of what
they're
they
not
did.
even they're not even Assassin's games like at this point. Like they're just
Right,
massive
they're
RPGs.
just right, they're RPGs.
So when they went from Syndicate, I think it was, to Odyssey, when they went to not Odyssey, Origins, Assassin's Creed Origins, there's a big shift, the way the combat system works, and it was more like Dark Souls and all this sort of stuff.
Interesting.
And I was just not into it at all.
Syndicate, that was the London one, wasn't it? I like that.
Yeah.
was
No,
the
I
one-
like that one because I feel like that was probably the last true Assassin's Creed game. And then Rogue, which I haven't played, which is like came out at the same time as Assassin's Creed 4 on the 360 and PS3, and they've re-released that for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And I'd like to play that one because that's like an old-fashioned Assassin's Creed game. But these newer ones like Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla, like no interest. And my brother, because he loves Vikings and stuff, my brother, he's like sort of into Vikings, so Valhalla is like absolute
There you go.
perfect for him.
Perfect
But
match, yeah.
to what an Assassin's Creed game is, just it's not floating my boat anymore.
Yeah.
Like at
If
this
they
point,
did a new Black Flag, do you think you would try to get it?
yeah, I'd be into that. But at this point, they might as well just name that Valhalla game just Valhalla and not made it Assassin's Creed game, and it would have been more. It would have took my attention more than making it Assassin's Creed.
Have you noticed, by the way, was it Blood and Bones, the supposed spin-off thing that they were going to
Skull
do?
and Bones, wasn't it?
Skull and Bones. What happened to that? That doesn't even barely get mentioned
No,
these days.
it's coming out. It's coming out. There's gameplay of it,
Supposedly we get an odd snippet every now and again, but it's
coming out. It's coming
I think it's too long. People have forgotten about it by the time it arrives. They'll be like, "Oh
We'll
yeah,
see, we'll
oh,
see.
is that boat game?" Okay.
Did it come
and
out actually? Did it?
No, I doubt it. Mind you, it may have done. I have no
I
idea.
don't think it did come out, but
No, I don't think it did.
Yeah, it was coming out.
It was meant to be.
And
Who
then
knows?
I don't know. Hold on.
And then the final game on this list is The Lies.
March. It's coming out March.
Yeah, we'll see. The Lies of P.
I have no idea what it is.
Have you not heard of this?
No.
I've heard of this. It's kind of a cool premise. So basically, it's Dark Souls, but you play as Pinocchio.
What?
So basically, you're Pinocchio trying to find Mr. Geppetto within the fallen city of Krat.
Okay.
And you've got to tell lies to become human and fight in the world. So you've got to sort of tell lies and fight people with giant sword things and saws and stuff.
And you can gouge their eyes out if you lie at the right
You
time.
probably can't. It looks very, very cool. I have to say, aesthetically, it looks amazing, but it's going to be hideously hard. But I've seen a lot about this. A lot of people are touting this to be Game of the Year next year, so we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah.
But it does look cool. Looks really, really cool.
Okay.
And that's it, really. I mean, unless there's anything you two guys know about or think about that's coming out next
All
year.
the games that I've gotten into lately, I guess, except from New World, like have kind of just come out of nowhere. Like I didn't even hear about Dinkum before that popped up in my world, and
Yeah, I think
Unbound,
that's what happens,
I didn't know anything about. I'm looking for sales, and that's the world I live in too. Is like I'm waiting for things to get cheap. I waited for Satisfactory to get cheap. I waited for New World to get cheap. I'm waiting for Unbound to get cheap. Like I just want things to get cheap.
And you know why that is, Duke? Because you're cheap.
Yeah, I am.
That's why that is.
Yeah.
Okay, we have got one speak pipe and one email. So what do you want to do?
Which are we doing first?
It's up to you. What do you want to go? Go with whatever
Let's
you
do
want
the
to go.
email
with.
first.
Whoa, that ruled.
Okay, actually, I tell a lie. We've got
Got 7 emails.
We've got 7 emails.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
one.
actually, no, number 1. I'm just checking. Did we do this one last week? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, we've done this one. We've done this one. Right. Okay. Here's the first one from Nigel Strutt, our resident space expert.
All right, more hating on
Space
Stu for his
expert.
foolish perspective.
And this is his fact of the week for space. Okay.
Go ahead. Hit us.
Thanks to the Christmas podcast, fellas, competitor shows decided not to bother. Well, it's true. We never missed a week. This is testament to your commitment. So, 6 of 52 is wireless headsets. NASA obviously needed a headset without wires to enable astronauts to move about the hub more easily, and so wireless technology for headsets was a must. And there you go. Happy New Year, fellas. Have a fantastic 2023, and thanks for your entertainment in 2022. Stay safe, Strutty. Now, here's the issue I have with all of these facts so far.
They're logical, and I'm not going to respond to that.
None of these things are a direct thing that's been found in space. Okay, so none of these things have come from space, right? So the whole point we were talking about is things that the benefit of space exploration, as in directly. Not
as
well,
I've
he's
said,
saying
no,
that
but
these,
that was
these,
invented to do space exploration.
yeah, but these things have been these technologies have been
They're as a
accelerated
result
because
of-
of space.
They have. I accept that.
And most
but they're not
scientific
from
discovery is
space.
not directly the result of the thing the person went
True.
looking for, and that's
True,
okay.
but it's not
we still
what
can
I want is
celebrate the
something
amazing world we
from
live in.
space. From
So,
space.
so what you're thinking is like somebody's flying around space. They're just floating around space doing space stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they go, "Oh, what's that? What's that floating? Oh, it's some AirPods. Oh, bloody hell!"
What
Well,
I
then.
know, what I want to know is what's the benefit of finding a galaxy 200 million light years away?
Because it tells
Probably
you.
none directly for us here on
What's the
Earth.
direct benefit of finding out?
But the best way to learn about where we are is to look at history and
Maybe.
what
But-
you're looking into when you're looking into space is you're looking into the past, right? Because of how light
is true.
travels.
That is
So
true,
you're
true.
looking into the creation of the Earth, the pillars of creation,
That's true.
the birth of stars, the death of stars,
birth of
how it's all about understanding where we are as
Well, I'm
human
not saying
beings.
it's not interesting, right? I don't disagree. I think I'm fascinated by space
But if we don't look to
And
space,
I just hate the fact that
and
we're doing it.
galaxies and universe.
if
You
we
know,
don't
the
look to space, then we
universe
don't
and-
understand where we are, and then we can't learn about how to save the planet, how to save
what's
the
the
solar system, how to
direct
save the
we,
sun.
we, no, I
benefit
don't
of
buy
that.
that, Chinny. I'm sorry. We know how to stay the Earth. Stop consuming so much shit. Like that's
Yeah,
really
that's
all it takes.
most. I mean,
Yeah,
the
but
Earth
we don't
until I,
wanna do
land,
that.
until I land on the moon
It'll
and
take
it's not
millions
written
of
on a
years.
plaque to stop eating shit, I ain't gonna do it.
Right.
But anyway, maybe next week will convince me. But at the moment, I'm still not
I'm
having
gonna
it.
give you a spoiler for next year. You ain't gonna be convinced.
I'm not going to be convinced.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I don't want him to misunderstand. I absolutely love space and space exploration, and it's fascinating.
I just think it's a waste of time.
But it's a waste of money and time, man. There's no direct
not.
benefit
It's
from it.
not.
But there are benefits. It's not direct benefits,
No,
but
it's
they
indirect.
are tangible benefits.
There are indirect benefits that have occurred as a result
Right.
of space
So there
and
you
our
go.
exploration.
lives are better because of them.
But can I just say, right, all of this shit, wireless technology, MRIs, CT scans, none of those people inventing those items went, I'm going to use this for medical reasons. They went, this is so we can do this in space.
Why does that matter?
Because they didn't invent it for the purpose it's used for now.
But very few things are done like that.
Sometimes they are.
Most technological advances in terms of computing are first applied to adult materials. Does that mean that my students' lives aren't better because we have cloud computing? Of course not. The benefits of all sorts of things filter out into all parts of life.
No, I agree. I'm not saying that people don't find other uses for stuff, but it's not like sometimes stuff's invented because there's a problem and then they have to come up with a solution.
Yeah.
With a lot of this stuff, that's not the reason. It's just happened to happen because they went, oh.
Fine. Why does that matter?
Oh. Because it's not a direct.
Yeah, but there is a problem.
thing
So they
because
need
of
they need
space.
headsets with no wires. That's the problem
Yeah,
because they can't move
I
around.
know, I know.
And
but
then
it
they
wasn't
invent it.
invented to make it easier for you to use a
But Stu,
Bluetooth
look,
headset.
there's people listening to this podcast, God help them, who aren't playing any of the games that we talk about. They're not the direct audience that we're trying to reach, but they find the podcast enjoyable anyway. Should we be mad at them? Because like, this isn't what you really ought to be. You're not the people we're trying to reach. No.
I don't think that's a really good analogy, but I'll let you have it. I guess.
Well, I'm trying to wrap my brain around it, and analogy is the way I work best. And I can't figure out.
Anyway, let's see
why
what
you're
next week's
mad
fact.
about
I'm not
indirect
mad.
I can't figure out why people listen to the show.
Mad. No, I can't figure that out, to be honest.
All right, we got a speak pipe, right?
No, we've got another
Or we got
email.
another email.
No,
All
another
right,
email.
let's go to the other email instead of arguing about space.
The second email this evening is from Jacinta.
Yay, Jacinta!
And she says, hello.
There it is. I got
Her
it.
name is Jacinta.
She says, hello, lovelies.
Hello. That was said like the DA in Brooklyn Nine-Nine when he's standing up from the cocaine. Hello. Sorry.
Hope you've all had an absolute best holiday and New Year.
Yes, it's been great so far. This year.
Yeah, I'm not really.
starting off on
I've been off a
really
couple of
great
days,
note.
but I've been working,
I'm a potato.
so I haven't really had holiday. But I've enjoyed Christmas and New Year. It's been great.
Already.
Probably haven't been having outdoor barbecues, drinking beer, and swimming in a pool.
Nope.
That's always been Christmas for me.
Yeah.
You know, I did lucky in Australia.
You'll also be pleased to know it's summer here, not winter. Ah, and he throws his
Yeah, but
lemon.
the problem is when they're doing a barbecue, there's like giant spiders trying to kill them. From what I
That's
understand.
true. And kangaroos stealing all their chicken.
Yeah, there is. And
Yeah.
fucking crocodiles eating them.
They're
Anyways.
fucking crocodiles. What? That's disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, a few things. Duke,
Yes.
I was going to email you about the New World Free Weekend a while back, but I didn't.
I
Because
gotta tell you,
not
I don't
one
really read my
ever
email these days, so like, don't.
checks,
There's other ways to
not
reach me.
one ever checks their email.
Yeah, well, there you
So
go.
you don't check your email, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm very glad you played it anyways. I thought it might be
Yeah.
what you're looking for in an online game, and I hope it remains
pretty
fun
much
for
is, yeah.
ages.
Thank you. Appreciate
You.
that.
Stu, very glad you played a bit more Elden Ring like you. I impulsively bought it at launch and haven't played very much. I hope to be able to though, some more over the break while in the in-laws entertaining our toddler. Unfortunately, I got it on the Xbox. Otherwise, I would probably try the easy mode mod too. Yeah, no, honestly, it's a revelation. Chinny,
Hello.
I really want to play a Plague Tale Requiem, but I didn't play the first one. And when it was on Game Pass, can I get away with just playing the sequel? No, I don't think you can you?
I would.
You
play the
could.
sequel, yeah.
You could.
Oh, no, sorry, I played the original. Yeah,
You need.
could.
There's a lot of background, isn't there, that leads into
Yeah.
the second
I think
game.
the
really.
first one's really good as well. So
it is
you're
really good,
depriving yourself of like.
and
a
you can
really
pick it
good
up
game.
probably really cheap.
Yeah. you
So
can.
here's a question. A lot of TV shows, and I'm trying to think if there's any movies that have done this, but certainly books have it. You know, TV shows often have previously on, and then they'll give you the highlights of the story that you need. Why don't games do that?
God of War does.
Yeah,
Oh,
God of
yeah?
War
Oh,
does
that's
it. You can have a whole montage, can't you,
God
of
of
the
War
first
does it.
game?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Cool.
does.
Elden Ring doesn't do that, does it?
what?
Shove it up your
Yeah,
arse.
it doesn't.
Yeah, well, it doesn't lead
Yeah.
on from anything else.
Well, there's lore in it
s-
though that no one
I
understands.
guess. Some live feedback. I'm just listening to you now, Chinny.
Hello.
Hope you and your family get better, Duke. I'm with you on the marking front. We sometimes have
Yeah.
2 weeks turnaround on 3 class sets worth of 1,200 word essays, and it's insane.
What,
shall
is
we
that
get them-
required by your administration? That's crazy.
Probably.
See, I'm lucky. My administration's like, as long as you have something in the computer by each marking period end, we're good. So I always had this fear that they're going to go looking in my grade book online and be like, how do you not have more assignments than this? But whatever.
Whatever.
They never do.
Whatever.
Sure, we get them back quickly, but the quality of feedback is way less because of it.
No, it's I believe firmly that, and I've heard from students over and over again that they wish I would grade more quickly, but they really appreciate the ones who are going to look at the comments are much more very appreciative of those comments, and the ones who are complaining that they're not back fast enough, it doesn't really matter whether they get their feedback quickly or not. Generally speaking, they know if they did well on an assignment. So I understand that the research says that they do better if they get the feedback quickly. But on the other hand, you know, kids would do a lot better if I had 15 students in a class rather than 25. So I don't want to hear all this research.
I think you might have misheard what I said.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
She said, sure, we get them back quickly, but the quality of feedback is way less because of it.
Oh, I thought she was asking that question.
No,
Sorry.
she's saying she
Okay.
gets them back quick, but
I
the
gotcha, I
feedback's
gotcha.
not great
Well, then
because
there
obviously
you
they
go.
do them too quick.
Yeah, well, then I disagree with the way your school system works.
Yeah, have a
But there's
great
lots of
week,
things I disagree with mine.
Jacinta. So there you go. So thank you,
All right.
Jacinta. Thank you, Nigel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, speak pipe. Let's hear it.
Let's go.
All right, here comes Speak Pipe, baby.
Speak pipe. It's the way to leave a message for us.
This is a Speak Pipe from Dave Ernsberger, and it is 1 minute and 30 seconds long.
Hey guys, this is Dave Ernsberger, a big fan based here in the UK.
Woo! He doesn't sound like he's in the UK.
No,
You
I
know
thought he was
what?
American.
He is American.
Hey, accents can be deceiving.
Of what you're doing in the Veteran Gamers podcast. I just wanted to call in and leave a speak pipe because at around 1 hour and 19 minutes into your latest greatest show, Duke went on a rant about Death Stranding and said he wouldn't even take it as a free game on the Epic Game Store.
Correct.
That's right.
And after
Yeah, he
quite
did.
the rant, said this is a game where you're wandering around in the wilderness and you have to carry big packages on your back.
Yeah.
Oh, Duke, come on, man. I think you're an educator and a teacher, and I think you specialize in English. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention, delivering packages is the game mechanic in Death Stranding, but that opens the door to a game which, at its very best, is a meditation on the gig economy. It explores parenthood and probably more deeply than that, what it means to not be a parent when you have unrequited desires there. It's a horror story and an exploration of post-traumatic stress disorder and the deeper psychosis that comes from active combat. But even at its worst, it's still an incredibly addictive game loop. The mechanic there of delivering parcels to people who are isolated by an apocalypse, striving for likes and building a world of roads and zip lines with other people playing the game. It's pretty good stuff, man. And for free, how could you go wrong?
Well,
Wow.
man, I'd be honest. I've never heard the game described like that, and I've come across a number of people recommending it on Reddit. So, Dave, I got to give you props, man. That does sound very interesting. If that had been in my head when it was given away free, I might have claimed it. It might still be available for free, and maybe I should go claim it still. Yeah, I didn't realize that any of that was in the game.
Let me tell you about Dave Ernsberger, right? Let me tell you about him. Right now,
Yeah.
Dave, you sound like a very nice man, very,
He does,
very
he
well
does.
spoken,
Something horrible is coming.
very, very well said.
Yes.
I like you. This ain't about you, but I know what you are, Dave. Right? You're a fucking Hideo Kojima fanboy, right? And I'm scared of those people because Hideo Kojima fanboys are fucking dangerous, right? They go, the game's about this, the game's about that, and then you end up fucking flipping a whale off because then you're spunking off a horse and then flipping the bird and then carrying a little fetus and then carrying a package and none of it makes sense. And then these Hideo Kojima things, they bloody love it. They bloody love it. They go, no, it means this. It's the best game ever. Hideo Kojima is weird. His games are weird for weird sake. I don't understand it. Like, I heard one guy flipping out because in the cutscene, like, the Solid Snake holds the door open for the cameraman, like the actual cameraman for the cutscene, and they thought that this was like a stroke of genius when it was probably just like some stupid thing that. So like, Hideo Kojima fans are just insane. They're insane. I can't reason with them. Like, just if there was one on a ledge and I had to talk him down, I couldn't speak to him. I'd be like, no, I can't. We can't level. Like, I can't relate to you. You're insane. But I like you, Dave. Don't get me wrong. I like you, right? But no, like, this is what I'm hearing is like, I'm wondering if Dave is like a big Hideo Kojima fan because I know, like, this is, like, that was a sound argument, but if I played Wank Stranding, right, it would not, that would
Wank
not be
Stranding.
what I get out of it.
Wank
No
Stranding was
way.
But that
brilliant.
doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah,
But
it's true. It's true. I'm with him.
Hey, he made a good
I-
argument,
I-
Duke.
I-
There's not many people
he
that can
made a good
persuade
argument.
you.
That's
No, I
true.
think
And
did
he
make
did
a
it really
good
well
argument.
there. But
Yeah, he
I'm
did.
telling you, I see a red flag here. I see a red flag.
Red flag.
I here's the other thing. Look, the question about whether the feedback loop is satisfying is a big subjective if. And it's possible that I could get into it. I didn't like Minecraft the first time I played it. There's lots of
Yeah,
games
maybe
that
this
I
is
played
it.
that who knows?
Wow.
But
Dave
I don't
Ernsberger,
know.
not only do you have a great name, but you might have convinced Duke to
No, he's
play a
never
game.
no. I just looked on Epic Game Store. It's not for free anymore, and I'm
No,
not
it
paying
isn't.
for it. So
But you
somebody
know
were to
what though?
gift
He's,
it
You
me,
he's
thought
sowed,
about it. You
he
went to
sowed
look.
the seed though. It's in
did
his
go to
Yeah,
head
you went and had a
now.
look. You went and had a look.
hey, I pride myself on having as open a mind as I can have, and so when someone puts new interesting info into it, I will respond in kind.
Wow.
The one thing, I mean, I've played quite a bit of Death Stranding, right? And the one thing I will say, it's the movement in it is so realistic. The physics are just ridiculously incredible, like in the motion capture and the way he moves around is so cool. But it was a bit boring, I'm just saying.
Stuart, stop whining about minor aesthetic
No,
details.
You know what I
I
mean?
appreciate the world we live in. You know, Dave Ernsberger.
appreciate
I
how
never,
cool
I
it
never
is.
get tired of saying Dave's name, but Dave Ernsberger, he plays that game. He gets that out of it. That's a beautiful thing, Dave. I'm really happy
wasn't
for
on
you.
Game
I'm gonna
Pass,
let you.
was it?
I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had the greatest video of all time.
It could be on. Is it on Game Pass? I don't know. Is it on Game Pass?
don't
Well,
know.
that's someone in the chat just said,
It-
"Is it still?"
yeah,
on
it may well be on
I'm
Game
looking
Pass.
now.
I think it is. That's what I think. That's no. Did I play it that way? I don't know. No, I
Oh,
played
it
it on
is.
PS4 and then it came on
Yeah,
Game
it is.
Pass.
Well,
It is,
Okay,
it
you know
is.
what?
Well,
Dave
shit.
Ernsberger, I'm gonna put it in. It's
Oh
on Game
my
Pass.
God.
I'm gonna play
I'll
it
tell you
for
what.
next
I'll
week.
tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll
Is
tell you
this
what.
the Let's Play My Game
I'll
bitch
tell you what.
game?
Let's make it the Let's Play My Game.
I'll
That's
play
it.
it again.
There
I've
we
played
go.
It already,
Let's
but I'll
do
give
it.
it another
Okay.
diddle.
Dave
There it is.
Ernsberger. Not only have you convinced
Wow.
Duke, but you convinced
Damn,
me
you
to play it.
Oh my
chose.
God.
No, Dave.
Play
No,
My
Dave.
Game, bitch.
Dave, you've got a problem here.
There's a
right?
flip side to this coin,
Because
though. We're gonna
there might-
hate you if we don't like it.
Is in the words of Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises, there's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne, right?
Storm
And
coming.
it ain't gonna be
Chitty's gonna
pretty,
take notes and bring
Right.
receipts, motherfucker.
right? Because I'm gonna play the shit out of it, right? And you're gonna have to do a speak pipe for next week or something or a reaction because
Or an email.
Yeah, we want speak pipe. I like speak pipes. 'cause
Yes.
You hear the voice, you know what they're doing, you know. There's
Yeah.
So thanks, Dave. That was a
Do
great
some
speak pipe.
shout outs.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, shout outs and get the hell out of here.
Appreciate it. All right, here we go. It's time for some shout outs.
time for a shout out. Hey!
Hey.
Hey.
Well, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
massive
go
thanks to
first.
Duke, Chinny,
Yeah.
Tara, the whole family. I'm trying to think who else came in. Who else was in? I don't know. I
Fred,
can't-
Bobby,
Fred,
Dwight,
Dan,
Jim, Pam.
Dan was in there.
Stanley.
Lewis was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we celebrated the new year
Basil.
to your mix, Stu. That we all
Yeah,
did
to
was
me
all-
mixing. You
all of
gave me
Tara's
some
family.
mixing
Stu.
support.
It's your birthday. Go, Stu. Oh,
Yeah,
that's not-
FNK, he came in.
Yeah.
So all the people who came in and said hello whilst I was mixing last night, it was really cool to have you there. And I
Yeah.
think it was a pretty good mix, actually. It worked all right, I thought. Play some
Yeah.
good tunes.
Uh-huh.
You had some
Uh-huh.
challenges with Tara's family's requests.
I did. I must admit, it was a bit touch and go on some of those mixes, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I'm like, how the fuck am I going to mix that with that?
Yeah.
But I think I pulled it off most of the time. I had a couple of iffy moments, but most of the time it worked.
You
So-
impressed the family though. They were like, "So, wow, right? So you just get any song?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah. You just request a song." And he's like, "Oh, right. What about this
I'm
song?"
like
"Yeah,
a real life Duke box Duke.
yeah."
Yeah.
That's basically what I
Jukebox.
was last night. But I mix it in and make it a bit more interesting than just like, playing one
Yeah,
song
you
after
crossfade
another.
it in. Yeah,
I crossfade it in. That's literally all I do.
that's all you
Crossfade
do.
it in.
Nothing else. Crossfade.
Crossfade in. Don't do anything else. But
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, some good requests, by the way. Tara's got good taste in dance music, can I
Yeah,
just say.
Yeah.
There was a
It
couple of tunes she requested I'd not heard before. So one
It
of them was
wasn't
really
all
good.
just her though. It was some of her family and like my
Right.
brother-in-law and my brother-in-law's girlfriend and yeah.
I
so-
can't remember which tune it was, but there was one she asked for, and I'm like, I really like that. Never
Yeah.
heard it before. Really good tune.
Yeah.
So there you
well,
go.
yeah. I liked the Balaclava song, which was Tara's.
that
Tara's
balaclava
cousin.
song.
Wow.
That is a tune.
That is a tune.
That really is a tune.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, I feel like you should be killing somebody to that tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
it
a lot
is-
of tunes, to be
it's-
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Duke, over to you.
Yeah, I will shout out Dan Bedcober because he said in the chat that he asked if Death Stranding was still on Game Pass. So hey, and also Fred Jemberg-Hember for writing in it with the SpeakPipe. What was his name? Dave Ernsberger.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Dave
Thank you.
Ernsberger.
Yeah,
Great name.
appreciate that. Like I said, we got, and this is the other thing. Look, I appreciate that kind of email, and same with Jacinta's email. I appreciate everybody who contacts us.
Her name is Jacinta.
It's important that people keep us honest. You know what I mean? The reason Kanye became Kanye is because he didn't have anybody around him who was willing to be honest and him willing to listen. It's a two-way street, obviously. You can't just have people being honest around you and then not listen to them. But I'm really thankful that I have, the Duchess isn't just going to tell me how awesome I am all day, every day. You need that kind of support and affirmation in a long-term relationship, but it can't just be like positives all the time. She's going to call me on my bullshit. And I'm grateful to have friends and people who listen to this show who are willing to do that. So, yeah, thanks to everybody who watches and listens, XJ Ryder and Hardly Dan and Soul Brother #1 and Tainted Brain and Ian and Lord and James and Trite and Luke and Tim Kelly. And, yeah, everybody who's listening, if you've never sent a Speak Piper an email or it's been a while, get in touch. We love to hear from you.
Can I just say, by the way, I'm happy for people to lie.
Yeah. No.
That's just me.
Lie to Stu, be honest with me.
Lie to me, lie to Ginny, be honest, we don't care.
Correct, yeah.
Correct.
So next year we're doing Game of the Year stuff? Is that what
yes, next week we'll have to do it, I guess.
Oh,
I'm gonna
have to make
I'm gonna try and finish Elden Ring this week. I've only got 60 hours to go.
So we got,
I reckon I
why
can
does
do
that
it.
Matter? Top five, is that what we're doing?
Top 5.
No, top three. Top 3.
No, 5. 5. We always do 5.
5?
We always do 5.
Yeah,
we
do
always do
usually
5.
Yeah.
All right, calm down.
Top 5, and then what we're gonna do is 5 other categories that are like your own categories,
Just made up.
So like game that I liked but everybody fucking hated, or whatever category you want to make up. So
I could have, for instance, a game I liked the most whilst I was in hospital with heart failure.
Yes.
There you go.
Best heart failure game. Yes.
Best heart failure game. That's a good one.
Yeah. So that's your category. So yeah, you got to make up some of those. So 5
yeah,
of
that's
those.
definitely going in. By the way, I'm not wasting it.
No. Yeah. So that's fine. So that's what we'll do. And if people want to write in with their top 5s, their funny categories, if you got any like
yeah, there you go. Right in podcast at veterangamers.co.uk.
Or just Google Veteran Gamers Speak Pipe and it'll come up. So
Tainted Brain said Dave Ertzberger needs to work in advertising for the game that's under the water that Duke won't play, Subnautica. I actually played that though. I gave that a fair chance.
You did.
So if somebody were to write in talking about how like, oh, it's a meditation on this or that, I'd be like, bullshit. I played it. It ain't a meditation on nothing. Meditation on being boring.
Is that it, Chitty? Have you done yours?
Do yours, Chinny.
I don't know. Just shout out to everybody who's been listening all this time, and new listeners as well. It's nice.
Yeah, well, shout out Luke for coming back for a second week because he must be an idiot.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? Coming back for a second week?
Must worry the family, Stu.
Yeah, must do.
Thanks for
what can I
listening,
say?
everybody. Go check out VGHub.net.
Yeah. I kind of just apologise, by the way.
No apologizing. No, it's too late. You had your chance.
Like anybody gives a shit.
Yeah, I was going to apologise to Luke because he wasn't the terrible George Ezra. He was a flying monkey from The Wizard of Oz. Apparently.
Oh, okay.
In the
There you go. So apologies for that. It was his little brother who was George Ezra.
I was recently looking back through my notes about this year, and I was like, did that come out this year? Did this come out this year? And like, I didn't write down which ones did come out this year.
Oh no!
If
only Steam gave you a list of games you've played in the last year, that would be useful.
That's not helpful about which games came out this year, though.
Well, it doesn't matter because when have we ever gone with that rule?
Yeah, but I whenever
Let's be
possible, I
honest.
want to meet that criteria. So.
Yeah, you can do that if you want, but I won't.
You can do that if you want,
gonna
but
do
let's
that
be
in
honest.
some
Your
cases.
list.
I'll probably make one of my categories most fun games that didn't come out this year.
Yeah, but your top game of the year is going to be New World or Rocket League, isn't it? Let's be honest.
How about you wait till next week till you find out what my game of the year is? Which
all right.
Ass. Damn, hates space. Hates my choice of game of the year.
I don't hate space.
Yeah,
I'm
you
clarifying.
You
this.
said
I heard
Buzz
you
Aldrin was a prick.
You said NASA is a bunch of pedophiles.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I heard
That's
it.
all they do.
Like
That's
Andrew
what they're
Tate.
really
Fucking Andrew Tate.
researching.
Can I just say this about Andrew Tate? He had to respond to Greta Thunberg. In your face, schmuck.
Oh, by the way, do you know what was
Go
the
to
coolest
prison.
thing I read today? Is that
Is
Greta
that Andrew Tate going to
Thunberg
prison?
has been given the tweet of the year for a response to him.
Really?
What did she say?
By
to him?
whom?
By
Okay,
just a
so-
general consensus.
Well, but that's
No, I
Anyway.
think there's a genuine. This
No,
is the tweet
God.
of the year.
If there's an
I don't know.
award, it's given by somebody. You can't just say this
Oh,
one
stop
best
shouting.
picture.
Well, it
From
doesn't
where?
matter.
General consensus. People
don't
think
know.
it's the best picture. If some institution or organization gave her a tweet of the year, yeah, fine. I want to know
Really,
what
does it
organization
matter?
it is.
Oh, is that the reply
To
where
me
she
it
says
does.
like small dick energy and stuff like that?
Yes,
Is that her?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for whatever, I'm not gonna bother telling the story, but anyway, it is a great tweet. She won the internet with that. There's no doubt about it. I love Greta Thunberg. And there is a part of me that is uncomfortable with the whole blood match, Schadenfreude. I want to watch people I don't like get destroyed, because that's not a healthy way for a civilization to function in general. But he started it, so.
But I do.
Oh, it was Tainted Brain who gave her the award. All right, cool.
I did
Yeah, tell you,
enjoy.
yeah, then.
I did enjoy James Corden being called out for stealing one of Ricky Gervais's jokes, or one of his writers stealing his jokes.
Sure. Anytime anybody messes up, they deserve to be called out. And it's fine to, celebrate when someone gets busted for doing something stupid. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just-
She
Yes?
hasn't actually received an official award, but it is the top 10 most liked tweet in the history of Twitter. I
That's
think that's good
awesome.
enough. I think it's
I
good
agree.
enough.
It's great. Yeah. And I know where the source is for that, which was really all I was getting at. That's presumably an official Twitter statistic. So.
Yeah. So I think that's.
Which
I
it's
think
kind
that
of funny because I bet
justifies it.
Elon wasn't happy about that, because I think he liked Tate. So the
Yeah,
crazy thing is, there's still fans of his who are like, he got busted for nothing, and it's like, oh, dude, you got problems, man. I mean, you have problems if you liked him in the first place, even before he turns out he was trafficking in women. But
Did you see the second tweet she did after he got arrested and said, "Well, that's what happens if you don't recycle,
you don't
your, pizza
recycle your
boxes."
pizza boxes. Oh, so good. Yeah.
What did he get? What did he get? Was he trafficking women?
Trafficking and
Yes.
sex rape
Yes.
allegations and some
Right.
other stuff. So he's done lots of
Really
heinous
nasty.
things.
But
that
is
he's
that
done.
true?
Yes.
We don't. Well,
Well,
he's
he got
been,
arrested
he's
in
been
Romania,
arrested
so
for
we'll
it.
see when innocent.
Doesn't
until
mean
proven
it's
guilty, but-
true, but he has
Right.
been arrested.
And as we all know, if a court does not find him guilty, then it was all made up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But equally, if it does find him guilty,
OJ.
he might be innocent.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, yeah. Take my award back. Why would you want to take it back, Brain? All right, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
See you later.
that's enough. No more talking.
Right, I'm going to bed because
Cool.
I'm very tired after last night.
Yeah. Well, thank you all. Have a great week,
Yeah.
and we'll see you again on next Sunday.
Yeah, thank you again, guys, for coming by last night. It was really cool that you joined me on
Yes,
mine.
Bruce, thank you for doing that. It's a fun tradition now.
It is.
You
it
are
is,
obligated
it is.
to do it every year now.
I know. Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
But yeah, it's fun. And yeah, if by the way, if you want to listen to it, it is up on Mixcloud now, so you can give it a listen. If you want to listen to it back, it's up there. Rightio. See you later, guys.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.